heavy. It'll also be windy. Rain could be heavy enough to cause some localized flood issues, the high up to 55. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
56 right now. World Series Game 4, Toronto at the Dodgers. LA won in 18 innings this morning to take a 2-1 series lead. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker. WTIC 1080 News.
The Manchester Road Race is back for the 89th running on Thanksgiving morning. This world-class event that attracts Olympians and families alike is one of the greatest sports traditions in Connecticut. You can to Connecticut Food Share and the Manchester Area Conference of Churches Charities to provide food to those in need. So if you don't register, the charities lose. Please register today at manchesterroadrace.com.
Need heating or cooling help? Ideal Mechanical Services specializes in expert HVAC repairs, upgrades, and installations. Done right the first time. From the moment you call, clear communication is our promise. You always know who's coming and when. As a family-owned business and not a big corporation, we treat you like a neighbor, not a member. Our licensed factory-trained techs use energy-efficient American Standard equipment with financing through the Smart E-Loan program. Comfort is always within reach. Call Ideal Mechanical Services today, 860-368-7625.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2. And you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. It's for real news, for real people. Make the switch today.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
I think we figured out the volume thing, or at least I figured it out on my online thing. But we fixed it. But if you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. I totally appreciate that. It's just the first day jitters, trying to get everything correct, and of course it goes south as it does. Let's go to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. My good friend Matty O is in the house, and let me guess. Did I already hit it wrong? Matty, are you there? How could he not be there? Now, I know the volume. Yeah, the phone line is up on my end. And now I for some odd reason, I'm not hearing the guy. I don't know what that. Yeah, it appears to be. No, wait a minute, that's not what I was supposed to hit. And I know I have the phone line up here. Maybe nope, that's not it. All right, let me just put it back on hold. See what I told you? It's always me. It's always me. Let me see if I can do it this way. I'll do it my old-fashioned way and see if that works. And that doesn't look like... Does this system not have the same thing that I have at home? Of course it doesn't. Of course it does not. You're going to have to do it on your end. See if you can actually hit Matty Owen. And that's not... No. There he is. Hey, what's going on, Matty O? How are you, sir?
Good, man. So glad to have you in Connecticut. Connecticut just got a little bit better.
Oh, see, now that I'm loving a little bit. I can't. I'm telling you, I'm here. I'm driving. I wake up in the morning. It's the first time I've seen frost on the car in 2 years. Because it's like, in Texas, it was nothing but a bunch of, like, hot streaks. I tell this story all the time. When we first moved out to San Antonio, we got the Alexa, in the house. We had them everywhere in the house, and I got pretty used to having it. So I go, it's 6:30 in the morning. I'm about to go to my U-Haul shop, and I go, Alexa, what's the temperature outside? Now, it's 6:30. There's no sun up. And Alexa goes, it is currently 85 degrees. I went, it's 6:30. There's no sun. You can't be 85 degrees without the sun. And sure enough, it was. At nighttime, it would be 80, 90 degrees at night, in the dead of night. I'm like, I couldn't deal with that. So waking up today and actually sitting in the car, watching it warm up and get the frost off, I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Now, how is Roseanne going to handle that first winter when it is negative 10?
She is going to love it for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then she will hate it. I know she is going to. I'm going, because she's always been an indoor person when it's cold, but she's looking forward to, because driving up here, she loved every bit of every tree line on the highway and looking at those brown and yellows and all that stuff. She felt like she was home. I've never seen her more excited to be somewhere.
Look at the foliage. Yes.
So yeah, she's loving it 100%, and she can't wait to meet everybody and to go places. In fact, when I get off the show, I've got to take her shopping a little bit. She wants to see. This is funny. She wants to see what a Connecticut Target looks like.
The same way it looks in...
No. You know what she called? This is going to be mad. This is going to make a lot of people mad, but I have to deal with it. She calls, in San Antonio, she called the Target a red Walmart.
That's pretty much what it is up here, too. It's a red Walmart with worst prices, pretty much, is what it is.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that, well, I think that the atmosphere a little better. I'll take her to a nice neighborhood and go to that Target and see if she enjoys it more.
I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Thank you,
and,
sir.
Hey, thank you, by the way. I was going to call in and light up your guest host, but you're doing it for me, so I don't really have to.
Well, I'm not lighting him up. The Allison Camerata thing was, and they're friends, so he's not going to kind of rake her over the coals. I've got no relationship with her, so some of the stuff that she said, I would have challenged. Right? So I don't think he was going to do that to one of his friends. I mean, she would be like, hey, why would you do that? Why would you sabotage me like that? And I get that. Relationships are relationships. I never ask anybody to tarnish their relationship with somebody they're good friends with. But just some of the stuff that, I had to address, because the fact that she said that people are living in two different realities had to be, for me, I just went, I couldn't believe I heard it. And that's kind of what people are saying now about news and about information, that they're saying that there are two sets of facts, which is, again, just as dumb as the violence is on both sides argument. It makes no sense.
It was the exact same argument. But actually, I called him up and was very respectful, because I figured if it's a guy you're having covering, I'm going to be respectful. And he straight hung up on me and it off the air. He did not want to hear a follow-up question.
Okay, all right. Well, as it goes. What are you gonna do? Thank you, Matteo. I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, bud.
You got it. Let's go to my friend. You know what I just realized? I just know what I did. That's what I did. I did the wrong thing. I'm pressing the wrong button, Roland. I don't know what I'm doing here, but the thing that I'm supposed to be pressing is that button. Is that Jim in Waterbury? Okay, well, it's not, and all right, he's on hold. I guess you're going to have to do it until I figure it out. Let's go to Jim in Waterbury now. There we go. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Reese.
What's up, buddy?
How are you, man?
You know what? I was tired, but I'm energized now. Once I got here in the studio, and I met with Janine, had a meeting with Roland, and Joey was in here tinkering with a whole bunch of wires. I'm energized. I'm ready to go. I am excited. All I want to do, I want to knock down buildings, man. That's the way I feel right now.
Yeah, you're right about that woman yesterday. My wife heard me yelling from the other end of the house. You're so full of hot air.
Well, Allison Camerata, here's the thing that I didn't understand about that, Jim, was that here's a woman who was pretty much let go by CNN.
Yeah.
They thought of her as invaluable in the sense of she can't stay. And I look at all the talent that's there, and I'm going, she at least was halfway decent as a reporter. She had gotten a little bitter in her, stead, but she was far better than this Lauren Phillips woman that's there. Abby Phillips, I apologize. She's way better than Brian Stelter. These guys are absolute partisan. But then to hear her defend the people who fired her, and then go one step further and to suggest, this is the part that I didn't understand. She actually said that the networks that we know, and we've covered here, Jim, who have been cited for, what do you call it, defaming the president in ABC News, who paid $16 million, right? We know CNN just got a defamation suit against them for suggesting that former military guy that was helping people out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Right, they got a defamation suit there. And during her interview yesterday, she mentions the Dominion case.
Yes, she did.
Right, as for her, giving herself credence as to who doesn't source their information. The people who made those claims, the only person who got the chopping block was Tucker Carlson, not the network. And they settled. There was no decision. They settled because Rupert Murdoch didn't want to take the stand. That's not an admission of guilt, and she knew that. There was an actual trial against CNN just this year that they lost millions of dollars for defaming somebody. So for her to suggest that all of the other news, miraculously, all do double sourcing, but Fox News is the only culprit that doesn't, and then can't explain why Fox News has triple the audience that the other networks have makes no sense. And that was the reason why I just went, what a complete load of bull.
Because that was the only network she was trashing.
Right. And ABC and NBC and CBS, oh, no, the stewards of journalism, and say that they have journalistic standards and not Fox News, sounded like an axe to grind, even to the person who doesn't follow news or cable news or 24-hour news for that matter.
Yeah, you should get her on, rake her over the coals.
You know what? That would be the first thing that I kept saying to myself, maybe I should just ask John for her number, and that's going to come back on.
Ask her to come on, a friendly visit.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you, sir. You got it.
If you want to go out sometime, come to Waterbury. I'll take you out to a classy restaurant, Frankie's Hot Dogs.
You have no idea. That to me, that is fancy. And if they have chili, even better. Thank you, Jim.
One of my favorites.
Thank you, sir. Let's take the People's Lobby. Oh, we do? Okay, we got to go. All right, People's Lobby, stand by. We'll get back to you in the next break. All right, we'll be back. More news, more views. Mamdani in the next hour. I don't have any headlines today because we can't do any of our stuff, but stand by. We're going to get into the Mamdani situation and a whole lot more, plus your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080. WTIC.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is an important public service announcement for our listeners. Reese on the Radio is also a podcast. You can find us anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Catch the full episode, listen by individual hour, or jump straight to the highlights. Just open up your favorite podcast app, search Reese on the Radio, and hit the follow button so you can get every minute of the show your way and on your time. Need good tech advice?
Must be a computer error.
Tune into the Gold.com award-winning Computer Talk with Tab, Saturday mornings 9 to 11 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
God, I love technology.
Eric Semmel and Dennis Howland of Tab Computer Systems will keep you updated with tech news you can use and answer your technology questions live on the air. Miss a program? Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in from anywhere via the Odyssey app. Go to Here to Talk with Tab, Saturday mornings on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts, or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080, WTIC.
Hey now, we are back, Reese on the Radio. Let's get to, now we can go to the People's Lobby, see how he's doing. I can't do it here, Roland. As soon as we can find out in the next break, I promise you I will learn how to do it. There he is. What's going on, People's Lobby?
I hope you can hear me. I'm on the road, just like you were. I apologize if you can't hear me.
No, you sound fantastic.
All right, it's nice to see you. I just wanted to put a message out to all the refugees that are going to get hit by the Hurricane Mondani. You know, you can move over here to Connecticut, and you can vote Republican, and you can live like a king. I know you don't believe in kings. I get it, you know what I'm saying? But you still live like a king. You know? With God, you know what I'm saying? Next time, fix your volume on X, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to
I worked on it. I figured it out. It's finally on now, and I appreciate that. You're 100% right. But you know what? You have a great, you made a great point. I'm wondering myself, how many people do you think on the Upper West or the Upper East Side are going to move to Connecticut now? Because even if the taxes are bad here, they're not as bad as what they're going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. You know it, man. I'm getting calls all the time from my house. They give me whatever I want. I'm like, nah, I think I'm still pretty good. I'm going to stick this one out for this election here, you know, try to get a few people elected. We're going to change things around here. You missed a lot of news. You've been on the road. I know that. You better jump on that to see what's been going on. Social media and stuff.
Yeah, I've been, it's hard to do when I'm driving, especially, you know, you know what, I'll tell you this, man. Nothing is worse than knowing that news is happening and I can't just pull over and just react to it, or at least just log the stuff in. I got to come in, unload my trailer, and then I got to get on there and I got to cram like I'm getting ready for a test in the finals. It's a horrible look. But yes, I'm going to get on the ball. Give me tomorrow, and I'll have all the news and all the views, I promise, without a doubt.
Well, it's great to see you back, man. And fix your volume, man. I gotta share your content, man.
Okay. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. We're going to come back. I got to talk about this Mamdani thing. I'll get your phone call, so everybody stand by for that. And we'll talk about all of the stuff that's going on. Because the Mamdani thing, why are these folks waiting till today to start critiquing this guy? It's like these last-ditch efforts to pull out all the stops. Even maybe someone thought it was a joke. That's what I think happened. I think people thought Mamdani was a joke and didn't think he'd go that far. Or he'd get that far. He's getting that far. And you gotta let it happen. You gotta let it flow. It's gonna be all right. What's the thing that we always say to children? Right? A hard head makes the soft behind. At least that's what my mom used to say. The kid keeps touching the stove. Don't touch the stove. Kid touches the stove anyway. Kid gets burned. See, I told you, kid doesn't touch the stove. What's happening now is these kids are doing far worse than touching the stove. These kids are pyromaniacs. And they want to set the world on fire. They're petulant. They're children. They don't like capitalism. They don't like that you have to work hard to get what you need in life. Even the little bit, even the bare minimum. Someone said online, good friend, I consider him a good friend now. He said, all we want is a fair playing field. We want a level playing field. To which I responded, this isn't football. This isn't baseball. This isn't sports. This is life. There is no such thing as a level playing field. None. Name any other person in the world, any other country in the world where there is a level playing field. It's uneven in Afghanistan. It's uneven in Iraq. It's uneven everywhere. There's no such thing as a level playing field. No one is born right at the same, starting point. No one is anywhere. And I hear these other people are commenting, and his Russ neighbors like, they don't want us to have a fair playing field because we dominate. Well, if you'd be able to dominate, you should be able to dominate 20, 30, 40 yards back. You should just be able to take over the whole thing if you're really that good. Michael Jordan, how many points did he score while he had the flu? Let's get to the top of the hour. We got news with Dave Mager filling in for John Silva. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on
Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Reese on the Radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
Hey, we are back, and don't forget, folks, tomorrow we're going to have everything under control. We're going to get back to the regular programming, just the whole weekend, the 3 days, now the 4 days, and all that other stuff. It's just we're running around trying to get things ready, and I needed to be here in order for it to get fixed. So don't worry, tomorrow it'll be okay. Dave is in YouTube, and he just told me, he said he said that when he was happy that I got here, but he was hoping that I hadn't unpacked yet. I'm like, what am I going to run out of town? He's like, nah, you'll see. I'm like, trust me, I'm here for the long haul. If they'll keep me. If they keep me. So don't worry about that. We'll get it right. By the way, George, unfortunately, I hung up on you by accident, so I'm glad you called back. I don't mean to think that personally. Let's check out my man, Rudy, all the way out in Florida. What's going on, sir? And see, I told you, it's not on. It's not me. I know it's not me. Yes? Is it, I don't know, that one? Nope, it's not that one. I don't know what button it would be, but there are 2 telephone lines. Let's try, no, would it be that telephone line? Nope, can't hear anybody on that one either. That's definitely not it. I know it's not me. It can't be me. I'm sure, I know it did. I'm sure that it did, but I have a strange feeling. Okay, I will put him on hold. I am positive, without a doubt, that John did something. What's going on, Rudy?
You can hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly. What's up?
Well, I'm glad that they're all going to move to Connecticut and not down to Florida. I wasn't even going to comment on that.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? You would, because I remember we first talked about this, you and I, and you said, no, please don't come down here, because, in fact, White Mike was saying it as well. He said, please do not come down here because it's already too crowded with a bunch of people from the Northeast.
And now that the Canadians are pulling out, our housing shortage might end. I got 2 things to talk about, but on this topic, I don't know if you saw it recently in South Florida, near Miami, a crocodile in the front yard of a home that almost snatched a 2-year-old on a boat.
Wow, no, I missed that.
You guys do not want to come down here. The bugs, the poisonous snails that show up in your yard.
What?
The crocodiles, the alligators. The Florida man thing is true.
Yeah, and that's true.
There's a lot of stuff down here that you will run into. I mean, I've walked my dog when he was alive by lakes and come across many a gator. And
yeah, it's a fish. It is a true fish out of water, or fish or human into water situation. Because I remember the first time I ever drove through Florida, I could not in my mind wrap my head around driving down the highway and seeing an alligator on the side of the road. Like that, you see anything
in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
They cross the road. I have a pond near my house, a retention pond, and they sunbathe on an exit ramp that if you got a flat tire right there, you're 5 feet away, and if you don't look down the slope, you don't know they're there. I got more on that, but just save room so I can mention Mark from West Hartford. But this is your opportunity. We don't want New Yorkers. And, everyone comes on social media and the airways, and nothing gets changed because no one puts the effort in.
Right.
We need the conservatives in Connecticut. Unfortunately, you made a mistake moving there, but we need the conservatives to sell their houses to New Yorkers and get down here and buy the houses from the Canadians that are fleeing because they're liberal and they hate DeSantis. It's a great swap.
That probably would be a great swap, but I think this. Look, let me ask you this real quick on all of this. First of all, no businesses are coming to Connecticut. That's a wrap. This idea that, I think David Haar was writing that, it could be beneficial if Mom Donnie becomes the mayor of New York, because those businesses will just come to, like, Stamford. And I'm like, no one is going to Stamford who worked in New York.
It's
it's barely a savings.
Exactly.
It's barely a savings. So Mark from West Hartford sent me a picture via Reese on the radio.
Yeah.
And I just got to say, I wish they sold that doll, Mark the West Hartford firefighter, king of pickle washers. But it looks like Tim from Wallingford with a mustache. Like,
does it?
We gotta get his face on that doll to look like Mark.
I'm showing everybody online what it looks like. Someone mailed this.
I called.
Someone mailed this to me.
And Mark sent it to me, and I was at a red light, and I just happened to look at his text message, and there it is. Mark, he's the king of pickle washer slayers. He finds everyone. But that's why I want you conservatives. I mean true conservatives, not the people that think they're Republican and vote for Charlie Baker or vote for who's the clown that ran for governor as a Republican?
Wait. What are you talking? Mitt Romney?
No, Connecticut.
Oh.
He's the moderate that ran the last two times.
Ran for governor?
Against Lamont.
Oh, you're talking about, goodness gracious, Stefanowski?
Yeah, great guy, but he's no conservative. I mean, if you're a true conservative, then buy up these Canadian homes because they're not coming down here this year. They're crying, and I don't know if anyone's noticed, but Canada's dollar is worth 60 cents American, so they can't afford it, and they're seeking cheaper places. But sell your house, let the New Yorkers move in, and communize Connecticut more, because Connecticut's never coming back. Because everyone just talks about it on the radio.
You know what? Listen to me. I'm going to.
coming back.
Look, I think. Listen, I know. Look, I know the people who are diehard on this, and they believe it. I don't, and I'm going to explain that while I'm here.
Proto is in charge.
Whom?
Proto.
Oh, listen to me. That's
You're never going to have a strong enough Republican Party. They're bought and paid for to be the Washington Wizards, and the Democrats are the Harlem Globetrotters. The Republican
It's
Party
not the
in
Washington.
Connecticut
You mean the Washington Generals?
Without a staircase. That's what Republicans. Why did you move back there from Texas?
Hey, because that's another story. We'll get into that at another time. Thank you.
If I was your wife, I'd hit you with a frying pan.
It was her idea. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right, because she's a commie deep down inside.
No, goodbye. Get out of here.
You didn't play my song.
No, because I don't have any audio yet. Goodbye. Knucklehead. Let's go to George. George is always calling from St. Louis. How are you, sir? He got out of here early. What's up, man?
Welcome to wherever you are. Welcome.
That's right. Thank you.
Maybe someone explain this to me like I'm a 4-year-old.
Okay.
You vote in Democrats, and they absolutely decimate your standard of living, and then years later, you're still rebuilding after all of the destruction, like Melissa, where the place is leveled, and you keep voting them back in again, and the damage is inflicted all over again.
Let me ask you this, George.
You never catch on that Democrats are bad for you, like
but don't
Mamdani?
George, that's my point about Mamdani. Don't you think? See, this is the point I'm making about Mamdani. Don't you think they've gone a bridge too far? The three most popular Democrats right now who draw in the crowds is Mamdani, AOC, and Bernie Sanders. This is like you couldn't get more left-winging in these guys.
Well, Reese, an example, the subject came up yesterday about renewable energy. Yeah. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You retired cheap energy.
Yeah.
It was like $26 a megawatt hour for oil and coal, and you brought in $86 renewable energy, and now your electric rates are through the roof, and you don't realize you did it to yourself. You took Democrats and you put them in office, and they wrecked your electric grid. I don't get it. Explain this to me again, like I'm a 4-year-old. Somebody tell me why you vote Democrats in.
after a while, and I think this is why I really, really have high hopes for 2026. I think that we've gotten to that point, George, where it's a bridge too far even for Democrats, because there is so much of that rate increase that you're going to see. Forget about energy. Energy is one of the most basic things in the world. But then when food plays a part of that, and those two things are sort of, coalescing in making people's lives miserable, they have no choice but to go in the opposite direction. I know that's coming, and people don't believe it, but it's happening.
Let me add one thing. You have these memory lapses about Democrats. You forgot all about Biden, who also has memory lapses, who wrecked the economy the last 4 years, decimated everything.
Right.
And now you're going to forget about the government shutdown, almost one of the longest ones, also caused by the Democrats. What is the matter with you people?
I'm gonna, I'm gonna see if I can get the audio for this. I'm going to play what you just said. That last piece was very, very important to today's show. I will get to that. Thank you, George, as always, sir. Let me just say this. And what Rudy just expressed and what George just expressed is exactly what I'm talking about. The Mamdani thing has to happen. As George saying, was like, how much are you going to take? Democrats across the state of Connecticut, regardless of what you saw at these ridiculous rallies a couple of weekends ago, regardless of that, Democrats in Connecticut, sure, do they want to be able to house the homeless? Of course. Do they want the poor to not be poor or to be able to maintain their lives? So why? They're not committing crimes, right? So they're not living in poverty and having to sell drugs and kill one another in order to maintain their drug lifestyle. Yes, of course. Do they want illegals to stay in the country? Yes, of course they do. They see them as, the unwashed masses who just are yearning to be free. They do. Of course they do. But when they realize that they've alienated everyone who can afford to do the things that they want, and then they are put to the test by the local government that says, hey, Atlas shrugged. The wealthy have left. They said, whoa, we're not paying for this anymore. We're getting nothing for it. We're done. You pay for it. And by the way, everybody is screaming they want the goods. Everyone is screaming the rich should pay for it. You saw them at that Mamdani that Mamdani campaign rally when Kathy Hochul was on stage. Tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. My question is like, what are you waiting for the rich for? Why aren't you all pooling your money? You ever noticed that? All of those people, they couldn't help but tell you how many people showed up at the No Kings rally. They were all there. Millions of them. Many of them paid, but none of them took the money they got for just showing up. And did they pool it or put it together and take care of the people they were out there protesting for? Not one of them did. They collected a check, never offered up a dime. Never did, never will. Tax the rich. Make sure you get the money from the reluctant. Hey, why don't you pull in some money? No, I'm not rich. Making all the demands, won't put in an effort, won't even bother. You know what? Tax the rich, but here's $5. Tax the rich, here's 50 cents. Tax the rich, I have too much. My stepson, the boy, you know what his biggest issue is? He hates it. It's money. He hates it. Every day we sit and we talk to him. When he visited in Texas a couple of weeks ago, I'm driving him, we're going to get ice cream. And I said to him, what's your deal with money? He goes, I just don't like it. And I said, then why do you spend it like you do? He goes, well, I spend it on my friends. And I go, why? He goes, because I have it and they don't. I said, are you ashamed of us? Like you're ashamed of, like, your father is well-to-do, your stepmother does well. Like, are you ashamed of us for doing well in our lives? And he goes, no. Because I just feel privileged, and I see that my friends don't have anything, so I take care of them. Now, what do I'll tell you, it's a case study to watch him do it. I know exactly what it is. He's the youngest. He can afford to take care of his friends. This gives him an ability to be big man on campus. It's I mean, this is psychology 101. I get that. But, I mean, I got to give the kid props. At least he's putting his money where he's putting my money where his mouth is. But he's putting his money where his mouth is. He is the first person to give. I've never heard him scream about, the wealthy. He doesn't like the wealthy. He thinks of them as people who will, hold their own money like a bunch of misers, will never ever share their wealth. But at least the kid gives with both hands to all of his friends. They go out to go eat, he'll pay for it. He calls us up all the time. Hey, Mom, can I use a credit card? My friends, we're going out to eat. Yeah, and I'm going to pay for, his best friend Caleb, or his other best friend Brandon. Yeah, kid, no problem, whatever. They're going to, Chipotle or whatever. I no big deal, kid. But he went out and he got his own job. But he gives. Because he feels guilty about it. At least that's the kind of socialist I can get on board with. You want to offer these people up that money? Give it to them. But stop asking everybody else. And that's what these people do. They're screaming and hollering for everybody else's money but their own. November 1st is coming around. These so-called welfare recipients, who, by the way, did you see that Newsmax piece with Carl Higbee, who was a guest on the show? We talked about an incredible group of the folks who are receiving SNAP benefits who are at risk. A majority of them, not white, not black, immigrant. And here you have these people jumping in front of ICE agents. Stop, don't touch him. No, he just wants a good life. They will sooner throw their bodies between an immigrant and an ICE agent, but won't throw any dollars. Weird how that is. Haven't managed to give $1 to these starving babies. But they're out there protesting, don't touch him! He doesn't want to go back to Guadalajara! Please don't touch him! It's amazing to watch. Hey, we'd like you to give $5 to feed a Guatemalan child. Well, I'm a student and, college is expensive and, I got to buy books and, I got to eat, money I have is to pay for this week's top ramen. No one is that selfless. Again, I don't even understand it. They were willing to put themselves behind bars, get bailed out, won't give $1. And you got A.G. Tong out there. We know they've got the money. Well, so do you, William Tong. So do you. You should go out there and drop a couple of, drop the coin in some of these buckets. Help these NGOs. Again, I find it fascinating. We'll take more of your phone calls. We'll break all this down. I've got Between Rounds winner coming up. And I have another story I need to get to, but stand by. We'll get to that shortly. Plus your phone calls, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
How did you get your tripping breakers fixed so fast? AL Home Services. Same day electrical. I gave them a call, and they had a technician on their way. They even sent the technician's real-time location, so I knew when they would be here.
Did you say same day? That's crazy. If you need same-day electrical, call, click, or text today and say hello, ALO. Call for details. License number HIC 628926, P102776888, S104134487, D104014665, S3308699, SM3004646, E1185643.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
And now, a WTIC news update.
57 degrees at 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Staying in the mid-50s this afternoon, low around 40 tonight, high in the mid-50s again tomorrow. Category 5 Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica at midday with winds up to 185 miles an hour, tying records for the strongest Atlantic storm on landfall. Heavy flooding and wind damage are reported, roofs, torn off buildings. Radio Jamaica reporting some residents did not heed warnings to move to shelters.
It's always difficult to hear, when our people in charge say there are people who are stranded, there are people who are marooned, there are people who are in difficult situations, and we cannot get to where you are because it's already too late.
Officials warn that cleanup and damage assessment could be slow. Melissa should make landfall in Cuba late tonight, then head towards the Bahamas. It's not expected to impact the U.S. mainland. The storm has killed at least 7 people. State police investigating a homicide in Killingly happened last night at a home on Pratt Road. A victim was found fatally shot in the chest. A suspect is in custody, according to police. State Attorney General William Tsang now has 38 lawsuits against the Trump administration. In the latest, he's joining other states to demand the continuation of SNAP food assistance beyond October 31st. He says the USDA is required by law to fund the program even during the government shutdown.
SNAP, and the funding of SNAP is mandatory under federal law. There's no discretion. You have to do it. Why? Because Congress said so. Okay? Congress said so and has said so for a very long time.
Right now, the White House says SNAP food benefits will end effective Saturday, despite the existence of a $6 billion contingency fund to pay for them. So far, the USDA is refusing to use that money. Air traffic controllers continue to work without pay, some staying home, contributing to flight delays and cancellations. Nick Daniels is president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association.
In the shutdown today, there is no excuse that these hardworking men and women are showing up to do this job and to not ever know when they're going to get paid again.
Funding for many Head Start programs will run out Saturday. Aid for mothers to care for their newborns through the WIC program could run out next week. On Wall Street, the Dow up 265, S&P climbing 33, the NASDAQ is up 252. and recheck the WTIC forecast.
Times of clouds and sun for the rest of the afternoon. Breezy, temperature into the mid and upper 50s, and partly to mostly cloudy tonight. Breezy, the low 40, then mostly cloudy, breezy, and chilly for tomorrow. The high just 54. See a little bit of rain break out tomorrow night, then periods of rain on Thursday, some of it heavy. It'll also be windy. Rain could be heavy enough to cause some localized flood issues, the high up to 55. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
57 now, Sports World Series Game 4, Blue Jays at the Dodgers. LA a winner this morning in 18 innings to take a 2-1 series lead. NBA Knicks in Milwaukee, NHL the Bruins host the Islanders, the Rangers in Vancouver. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claim process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Connect with employers who are ready to hire talent like yours during Goodwin University's Business and Manufacturing Career Fair. Join us at 3 Penn Road in East Hartford on Thursday, November 6th from 4 to 6:30 p.m. Register today at goodwin.edu/career services. Welcome's welcome. We'll see you there.
Hi, Dave Berger from Modern Plumbing Supply. Over the years, the bathroom has gone by many names. The French called it the smelly house. The Egyptians, the house of horrors. If either of these describe your bathroom, well then it's time to visit Modern Plumbing Supply. Let our seasoned staff assist you in selecting the perfect items to transform your bathroom into your own personal oasis. Now, doesn't that sound much better? Modern Plumbing Supply on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin.
Great design with you and I. Modern Plumbing Supply.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments, in most cases, have made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Oh, whoa, hold up. Let's not put all 100 candles on the cake. Slow your roll. That's a fire hazard. And there's expensive radio equipment in here. And I'm not quite sure what I'm wearing is fireproof.
We'll be back with so much of your phone calls, so if you want to check in, you can do it at any time between now and 6 p.m. Just give us a call at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. We got weather and traffic coming up as well, so stand by for that. And don't forget, you can also go to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. I apologize that I did not do a Substack this Sunday. For those of you who patiently wait for it every Sunday, I had something set up, but I didn't set it up to go out during the drive, probably because I was figuring something newsworthy was going to happen and I would wait. But I will put something out this week just for good measure. So we're taking phone calls. Also, we're good online. So if you want to join us in the chat room, you can do there at X or on Facebook. Either one of the pages on Facebook, which is the show page, and then my personal page. For those of you who are on it, you can join in there as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about this Allison Camerata thing because I really didn't get to the whole breakdown here. And Allison Camerata was on the show yesterday, and she was talking about how two individuals, her friend on the right and her on the left, would look at information on one subject and get two algorithms, as she put it. And I don't know if Allison Camerata would ever listen to this program. I know she's in Connecticut. I hope if someone knows her and they might listen to this show and maybe they'll tap her on the shoulder and they'll say, hey, Allison, your appearance, the host of the show is back and he was mentioning your appearance. And I hope that you would. And if you do happen to tap her and you can't get her on to listen to the program, I would like you to send her a message for me because I did listen to her entire interview. And I have to say from the bottom of my heart that had to be the biggest amount of bullcrap I've ever heard in my entire life. I can't believe that anybody who so-called called themselves in the news would say the amount of nonsense that came out of that woman's mouth. What she said was reprehensible and stupid. And the fact that anybody takes her seriously, I'd have to question their brain. There are no such thing as two algorithms when it comes to the facts. Nimrod. There are the facts. Just like there's no such thing as my truth. There is the truth. The thing that you're trying to say, stupid, is your version of it. That's all it is. There is no algorithm. There are the facts. And we, as human beings, should be able to discern from them what they are. Not our interpretation of the facts. The facts are the facts. And listen, folks, stop getting into the weeds with people on this, well, I heard. Who cares what you heard? I don't care what you heard. I don't even want to get in a debate with you about what you heard. Do you know it's factual? Did you care to find out if there were any facts associated with the nonsense you're spilling? Did you care to? I care to. I like the facts. I like the facts leading me to wherever they lead to, and when I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and now I'm not sure. Oh, damn it, I thought it was such and such. You know what? I was wrong. And I'm better for it. So the next time I have a conversation with someone that says, you know what? I was saying the same thing. I got into this debate with this guy, and he was telling me such and such. And then, you know what? I actually did listen to them, and I started looking into it, and it's like, you know what? Damn right, they were right. I was completely misled on that. It's got to be okay for you to do that. But to start telling people, because I'm on the right and you're on the left, we could get different algorithms. What are you leaving it to the algorithm for? Why would you leave it to that? You're under the impression that because it's there, that objective truth doesn't exist. That it can't exist. Why? Because some other apparatus has taken its place? You have to ask yourself, are you lazy? Because I think you are. I think a lot of people are just lazy. I talk about it on this show all the time. They are lazy. They get their facts or their stories spoon-fed to them, and they respond to it in kind. And they start this nonsense with me going, Reese, did you hear? And I have to be, and again, I know I'm arrogant about it. I got to tell everybody about it. No offense. But what you are getting is not news. You want the news? Stop watching the news. Come here. I'm sorry. I don't know. Look, Godspeed. You know, my label mates, Eric Erickson, what's his name? Brian Kilmeade. These guys on the conservative side, Sean Hannity. God bless them all. I know what they do. I understand what they do. That's their gig. This isn't a criticism of people on my side or even those on the left. Q, all of the guys. God bless you for what you do. But I cannot stand when people get caught up in the algorithm and start talking about the talking points and cannot see through the nonsense. These people, all of you, are supposed to be smart and educated people. Please stop regurgitating the news to me or to anyone else. Did you hear? Okay, yes, I heard, but what did you get from that? Did you think? Did you hear something that made you go, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense to me? Or did you just hear the news and move on? If it matters to you, did you discern? Did you break it down? You know, somebody was calling me the other day when we were talking about taxes as it pertains to illegals. And every place had some story on it. And people were forwarding it to me, arguing with me that illegals pay taxes. They do. Why? Because the AP reported on it, or because Reuters reported on it, or the New York Times reported on it. And I read the reports and I go, wait a minute, did you read this? I read it. How did you not come away with knowing that the Reuters, AP, and the New York Times are talking nonsense to you? How did you not get that from the story? Well, what are you talking about? Here, where it says that renters pay tax. You didn't see that? Yeah, no. I mean, I saw it, but it's like, when's the last time you ever paid tax on your rent? How much is your rent? $1,800? You ever pay $1,800 plus tax? Well, no. Then how are you paying rental tax? Well, yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense. If they don't have Social Security numbers, how are they filling out W-2s? Well, yeah, I didn't think of that. Because if they're filling out W-2s, they have a Social Security number. And if they have a Social Security number, doesn't that make them documented immigrants? Well, yeah, yes, it does. You're not reading. You are not in any way pushing back on what you're being told. And then you're telling me, did you hear? My response to you is, did you read? You're not reading the news. That's why I say, stop. Forget about all the other nonsense. Okay? Forget about all the other nonsense. If you just, by the way, I don't want to forget this. I have to make this abundantly clear. If you just want the news media fed to you, Godspeed. If you just want to know what's going on and you're just driving by, and you're saying, hey, what's going on in the news? Fine. But if you want to be in the know, if you want to talk about the truth, it's never being told to you. I'm sorry, but that's not the job of the news media. It is not to tell you the truth. Okay? It is to tell you the news. Journalism, as I've said a dozen times, it's the who, what, when, where. They never get to why unless they know why. But why is it when you listen to the news media, they always tell you the why? Why are they always telling you exactly the reason the event happened? There is no why in journalism. There isn't. Not until you know why. It is who, what, when, and where. Why means that the person is actually investigated the intent, or is in the mind of the individual that is the subject. There is no why. We have to stop this nonsense that whatever she was spewing about this, different algorithms or people getting the same story with different algorithms is another way of saying that the side she doesn't like is lying. And that's what these people are spewing over and over again, is that the other side is lying and they're telling the truth. But none of them are even equipped to tell you the truth because they don't know why something is. They just know that something happened, and that's their job. 2 people were killed yesterday in a private plane crash. Should they be able to tell you why? No. 3 people were murdered at a house party. Should they be able to tell you why they died? No. When Mark Christopher comes up and gives you traffic, he could tell you that it's backed up, but when he tells you why, it's because he knows. Because of a 3-car pileup, you're stuck in traffic. That's how that works. There's no algorithm. Because as far as traffic is concerned, the guy in the Audi and the guy in the Volvo aren't experiencing 2 types of traffic. I'm stuck in traffic because of a 3-car pileup. I'm stuck in traffic because these bozos can't drive. Maybe it's one and the same. Who knows? We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll take your phone calls. We'll also get some weather and traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Stand by. It's Reese on the Radio.
Hey, y'all. It's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
he was in denial.
When I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Hey now, all right, we are back. I can't believe this ridiculous thing. We got weather and traffic coming up in a second. Can we take Peter in Canton real quick, Roland? Peter, what's going on,
How's
sir?
it going?
Hey, buddy.
Not too much. You're right about we need to have Mamdani win because it's going to be a train wreck. Where does he think this money comes from? It's like McDonald's. If you buy a hamburger at McDonald's, they own their own farms. Right. They have their own beef. The government has to buy everything that they give us from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think all this money is going to come from to buy housing and food? Even if he has his own supermarkets, they still have to buy the food from somewhere to fill the supermarket.
I think, Peter,
it's ridiculous.
The part that people are forgetting about all of this, and it is sort of like the quietest part of the Mamdani experience in New York. Think about a guy who says, I'm going to raise taxes just 2% on the wealthy. And therefore, I'll be able to pay for all of the goodies for everyone else, right? And his utopia would be affordable housing, if not housing for all, food, shelter, and water, that whole nonsense. That's the socialist dream. Every socialist I ever talked to, they said, even if it's ridiculous, but I want to make sure that we get this point across. So what happens when you get a Mamdani who says, I'm going to get all of that done? It's the one thing that no one talks about, Peter, and that is... No, here's what happens. How many people who have regular jobs, who work in, like, retail or work in, fast food, how many of them who have been busting their hump just to stay afloat now leave their jobs because Mamdani has promised the basic needs? So that number and that need grows. So Mamdani might be providing these things. Like he's got 8.5 million New Yorkers. I'm going to provide these services to 2 million New Yorkers. And once they realize that it can happen, that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that number grows to 3 million because people are saying, I got my basic needs taken care of. What am I busting my hump for?
I was thinking of moving to Mexico, walking up through the border, and I could get free health care and everything.
Exactly. That's, again, make something free, and the freeloaders come. That's how that works. He thinks that in some way that offering these goodies becomes finite. right? It's like only the certain group of people that I can provide it for is ever going to need it, not the fact that there are others who are trying to get by, who are having a difficult time, who are not going to say, well, if it's going to be provided for me, I might as well just quit.
It's going to nip it in the bud. It's going to nip socialism. Let's hope he gets elected, because it'll be the end of socialism.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Peter. Much appreciated, sir. We got to get
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You too. Let's get into, I should have said, nope, I did that wrong. I can't even hang up on him. Maybe I will. There we go. All right. Let's get our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is in a BPS traffic center. Somebody's home, Mark. He's not there yet. He'll be there in a second. Okay, there he is. Okay, maybe not. I thought he was going to give me this great intro, like playing, Daddy's Home or something like that. I don't know. Mark, are you there? Okay, all right, we'll get to weather then. No traffic for you. We'll be back.
WTIC weather.
No. No weather for you either.
Well, vacation is over. School is back in session, and WTIC News Talk 1080 is part of your daily routine with news, weather, and traffic updates, plus talk shows to keep you informed and entertained. It's back to the grind, but we'll help you get through it. WTIC News Talk 1080, always on your radio and on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Making sense of it all and having fun. That's how we would sum up our show. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. It's what happens when you take a Gen Xer, a millennial, and a baby boomer and give them a radio show.
We go through the news the same way you and your friends would, taking the serious stuff seriously while also laughing at the absurd. Each one of us brings a unique perspective to the news of the day, closing the generation gap in a way no other talk show can. Hear Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins weeknight 6 until 9 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
This is an important public service announcement for our listeners. Reese on the Radio is also a podcast. You can find us anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Catch the full episode, listen by individual hour, or jump straight to the highlights. Just open up your favorite podcast app, search Reese on the Radio, and hit the follow button so you can get every minute of the show your way and on your time. WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD 200, an Odyssey station.
57 degrees, 4 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Staying in the mid-50s this afternoon, low around 40 tonight, high in the mid-50s again tomorrow. Category 5 Hurricane Melissa is the strongest storm to strike Jamaica since record-keeping began. And it's tied for the record of strongest Atlantic storm on landfall.
CBS News special report. Powerful Hurricane Melissa has made landfall in Jamaica.
She's slow and she's wide, so all areas of the island are expected to feel some impact.
Esther Pennick of the Red Cross in Jamaica, Melissa is a Category 5 storm. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
The storm is coming ashore with 185 mile per hour winds. There have been gusts noted over 200 miles per hour. And just above the surface, more towards the top of the mountainous terrain, some gusts over 225 miles per hour.
Tourists like Wayne Todd are hunkered down in the grill.
They made sure to give us plenty of rations. We get plenty of water and food.
Meteorologist Andrew Kozak says they'll be hunkered down for hours because the storm is such a slow mover.
This is going to be a prolonged issue all day long for the western part of the island.
CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
Cuba is next. Melissa is blamed for at least 7 deaths in the Caribbean, 3 in Jamaica. And Stanford-based AmeriCares will be on scene once the storm passes, and not just for Jamaica. Spokesperson Donna Porshner.
We have an AmeriCares emergency response team that will deploy to Jamaica as soon as it's safe to travel. They are going to coordinate response activities for the region from there, and we've already offered assistance to our partner organizations.
The federal government's cutting off SNAP food assistance starting November 1st due to the government shutdown and the Trump USDA's refusal to use its $6 billion contingency fund to pay for SNAP in the interim. Now Attorney General William Tong and his counterparts are suing.
They are weaponizing hunger to serve their political priorities. It is wrong to starve people so you can bring your political opponents to heel.
A federal judge wants daily meetings with a senior U.S. Border Patrol official over the government's use of force in the Chicago area.
Greg Bovino responded yes, ma'am, to a federal judge who ordered him to report to her each evening to hear about how the day went amid videos showing the use of tear gas during demonstrations. This Chicago man says he saw tear gas used on his block without warning over the weekend.
This was the opposite of America.
U.S. District Judge Sarah Ellis discussed children being tear gassed during a weekend Halloween event as someone was arrested. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
One person died in a two-alarm house fire in Hartford late last night. It was at a multi-family home on Elliott Street. Crews found heavy fire on the first floor. It spread to the second floor, then to the roof. One person died at the scene, another taken to the hospital with smoke inhalation. Officials say a total of 9 adults, 3 families were displaced. 8 high school soccer teams in Massachusetts disqualified from the state playoffs because of an error in paperwork.
The Massachusetts Vocational Athletic Directors Association says the schools failed to leave placeholder games on their schedules for the postseason, so they've been ruled ineligible. Becky DiOliviera's son Vinny is a senior on the Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School boys team, which only lost 1 game all season. She says it's a horrible end to his high school career.
For a clerical error, I feel like there has to be a better outcome.
Their school superintendent calls the decision deeply unfair. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
On Wall Street, the Dow closes up 162. S&P was plus 16 points. The NASDAQ was up 190. Sports, World Series Game 4 tonight. Ohtani on the mound as the Dodgers host Toronto. LA, as you've heard by now, probably won in 18 innings this morning on a Freddie Freeman home run to take a 2-1 series lead. The Patriots have signed defensive back and punt returner Marcus Jones to a contract extension. NBA Knicks in Milwaukee. NHL Bruins home for the Islanders. Rangers in Vancouver. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker. WTIC 1080 News.
For quality vinyl siding, the Peter L. Brown Company is your best choice. Let us show you the difference a beautifully installed Peter L. Brown vinyl siding job can make. Please visit peterlbrown.com for roofing, siding, windows, and doors.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love. Life unfolds in ways you never quite expect. Starting a new business, getting remarried, being hurt on the job, or through personal injury. Each time, you're left searching for someone new to trust. But what if you had a full-service law firm that knows you, and a firm that can represent all of your legal needs? With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a full-service law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Proud full-service law partner of UConn Athletics. Nick Payne-Dearis is responsible for the content of this ad.
It's Reese on the Radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Hey now, we are back, and I am back in Connecticut. I'm watching this Mimi Torres thing online. I just saw WFSB is actually airing something now. I was watching something online about this story and about how it's there are 3 affidavits from all 3 individuals, the mom, the aunt, and the boyfriend, all of which I find very interesting. And what's also very noticeable in all of this is that, of course, Reese on the Radio was right, that they were going to pin it on Jonathan, the boyfriend. And that's exactly what's happened. The only part, and it's weird how it's a back and forth between the girlfriend and the mother and the boyfriend. If you read it, it's interesting how the 2 of them are pinning it. One of the stories is so wild. I guess the autopsy is going to tell
we'll get to that later on. But the autopsy is going to tell exactly how Mimi died. But one of the stories is so elaborate and so abusive, I don't care who done it. If that story ends up being the truth, the crazy story with the... I'll talk about it in a bit. If you haven't heard it yet, I'll read it to you in a minute after we get back from weather and traffic. I'll read all that to you as well. We'll talk about William Tong and his ridiculous press conference today. And I don't get it. I just don't. Maybe because I was poor once. I'm always fascinated by people who seem to take up the mission of the poor. We'll talk about that, and of course, we'll take more of your phone calls. Ralph, I promise I'm getting to you. Now let's get a check of weather and traffic. My good friend Mark Christopher is in the BPS Traffic Center. How are you, sir? No? I don't know. Maybe he's not in, or maybe, is it possible that he's supposed to be in another... Nothing I'm doing? Okay. That is weird. Yeah, that is strange. Okay. Well, you know what we'll do? You know, maybe we'll see if we can get a traffic report ourselves, and we'll just give it. We'll just give it. Maybe we'll figure it out.
WTIC weather.
Well, as we head through the rest of this afternoon, we are going to see clouds and breaks of sunshine across the region, with highs ranging from 57 to 59 degrees. And for tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. We'll head down to a low temperature of 40. Then tomorrow remains cloudy. A jacket may come in handy. It's going to be a little bit on the chilly side out there, with a high tomorrow of 54. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night and breezy, with rain arriving late at night. Low temperature down to 44. Then heading into Thursday, it turns windy with periods of rain, some heavy at times. The combination of fallen leaves and rainfall can lead to slick roads and potentially clogged storm drains. We'll have a high Thursday up to 55. And as we head into Friday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine with a passing shower, and the high Friday up to 59. Right now it's 57 degrees in West Hartford, 56 in Manchester, and 57 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Slow? Clogged? Backed up? Don't worry. ALN Home Services has you covered. For only $93, our technician will clear any drain in your home. And if it can't be cleared, it's free. Call for details. License number HIC 628926, P10277688, S10413487, D10401465, S3308699, SM3004646, E1185643.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Hey now, we are back. You know what? Let me get the phones. I mean, the phones are ringing off the hook, and I'm pretty sure we got a lot of people coming in. Let's go to Ralph in South Carolina real quick. How we doing, Ralphie boy? Nope, that's okay. It's going to take a second. There he is. Hey, Ralphie, what's up?
It's kind of chilly down here like it is up there today. The reason I call, Reese, you know why New York is in such big trouble?
You mean outside of Mamdani?
Well, Mamdani, he's going to be running into this too. You've got tens of thousands of retired New York employees, police, fire, teachers, who are making pensions. The average police pension is $93,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now add 15% maybe or more for benefits. Fire about the same. Teachers about $80,000 a year. And these are young people. These are not older people, Reese. These are young people. These are people maybe in their late 40s or early 40s. So now you're going to be paying these pensions for 30, 35, 40 years. Excuse me, you're bringing in new people to take their places, and now you're paying them. Eventually, this is going to piggyback, and that's why taxes are incredibly high in New York, because you got to pay all these pensions and all these benefits.
It's always been the case. In fact, that's what Chris Christie tried to let us know all of that when he first became governor of New Jersey. He talked about a small town that the pensions were almost, the amount of money that was going to be paid in pensions for a small town was going to bankrupt the town.
Exactly. So what's going to happen, again, in New York with the knucklehead, if he wins, I don't know, that 10-point swing in 1 week.
It's not enough. Listen, it's not enough. And it's got it. Look, this has got to happen. And I know I don't want the sacrifice of the people of New York to have to suffer through it, but there's a reason why it's got to happen. One, the first thing is there aren't enough people who are involved in politics to protect this from happening to New York. Second, people have got to get off this nonsense about being jealous or hateful of people who are wealthy in New York. New York is what it is because of the wealthy, and they should be thanking them, not admonishing them. And because there aren't enough people who get involved in politics outside of just one-party rule, this is what you get when you are allowed to go. If you can have a de Blasio, if you can have a Bloomberg, if you can have an Eric Adams, if you can have a David Dinkins, and you don't check it, if you don't check yourself, and the only outlier there is Rudy Giuliani. Out of all of those guys I just mentioned, Rudy Giuliani is the only conservative there who had successes. All the other men I mentioned took that city and buried it and put it in a hole. And they want to go further in that direction? God love them. They deserve what they get.
Also, something else I did want to mention, Reese. I was in line at the grocery store. Guy in front of me is kind of disheveled, maybe in mid-30s. He's got fried chicken. He's got a big bag of Reese's and a bunch of other stuff. and he pays with a card. He's got food stamps.
Wow.
He's outside, and I guess maybe it's his girlfriend or whatever outside, like a street down, and they're sitting on the corner with a great big sign, "Help Homeless."
Wow.
This is what they're doing with these cards. These two people are younger people. No problem getting a job, I would think, at like mid-30s.
I would look, again, if they're American citizens, I don't care. But from what we know now, the large majority of the people who are getting these food stamp benefits are folks who don't even belong here.
Yeah, but this is the problem you're going to be dealing with. Eventually, Reese, you and I have talked about this before, they're going to bankrupt the country. I would like to ask I don't care, Republican, Democrat, I don't care who it is, first thing I'd like to ask is, okay, how high can we go before we're bankrupt?
Yep. Yeah. Good question. How far? Yeah, exactly. How far? I think that's why we have to watch the experiment take place in New York. We have to. This is a mad scientist project, but it's got to happen. It's got.
Second thing I'd like to ask, Reese,
real quick,
$1.5 trillion that they are going to spend. What taxes do you want to raise to pay for it?
That's a great question. I don't know. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Let's go to Bill. Oh, no, sorry, Charlie and Avon. Let's go to Charlie and Avon. He's the holder little. Hello, Charlie. How are you?
Hey, Reese. How are you?
I'm all right. So what's up?
A little traffic update. I'm in traffic on 84, and just so you know, for the next hour and a half, there's going to be traffic on 84. It sucks. Traffic on 91 because it sucks. 95 is a dumpster fire. It sucks. So, and probably something by the Bulky Bridge.
Hey, you know what? I was on 84 last night. And let me tell you, I was telling Janine this when I got on 84. I finally get into Connecticut, right, from Brewster. I have no idea how I got there. I've never come into Connecticut from Brewster, New York. I get in. Yeah, I come in on 84. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? It's the last stretch. My GPS says 43 minutes to your destination. I'm like, yes, but here's the downside. It says 43 minutes, but it also is in yellow. Now, those of you who've done Google Maps, you know what yellow means. There are going to be some delays, right? It means that there are some slowdowns, but it says 43 minutes. I'm still driving, Charlie. I'm still driving.
Yeah.
I get 40, all of a sudden it goes from 43 minutes, it becomes red, and then it says 47 minutes. Then it says 53 minutes on 84. I'm going, oh, hell.
And 84's got a speed limit of
50
to 100.
I'm sitting there, and I'm seeing the number creep up. And my wife says, what's wrong? I said, for some odd reason, our destination just got further away.
Yep.
I don't know how. It was that bad. I was like, I don't even remember 84 being that bad. Thank you, Charlie. Nope. I know you guys warned me. It's going to be traffic and taxes. I get it. I'm ready for it. Don't worry. I've got my work cut out for me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do whatever I can. That Mom Donnie thing in that experiment, I was listening to yesterday's show, and Fred in Middletown called up, and Fred was asking about why won't I support Curtis Lewa, and I keep calling him the Raspberry Beret. Yes, he was my competitor when I was up in Boston. He was on it during the same time as me. And because, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of a jerk when I would call him that, because he was a competitor. To be honest with you, I wanted the rivalry. I used to go after Curtis Lee when I would call him the Raspberry Beret, because I wanted him to start up with me. I wanted to start a little, a radio war with the guy. That's, kind of the old days where I used to come from. You kind of pick a fight. It's fun. He'd say something, then I'd say something, and then we go back and forth. But I always kept it professional. I wasn't out there, talking about his mother. But I would just, I would listen to him, and there's this thing about Curtis Lewa, and I want to make this abundantly clear, because I know I do it. I'm a New Yorker at heart, but I'm a New Yorker. Not a black New Yorker, not a hood New Yorker, not a Hollis Queen. I'm a New Yorker. And a lot of you folks who have listened to me, even my wife says it. They go, you do a lot of New York when you, I do a lot of yous. Some people even think I sound a little Italian. This is the reason why many people think I sound white. Because I am a New Yorker, and I say coffee. I say talk, T-A-W-K. I do. I do it. I try to enunciate, and I do. But when I am agitated about something, that New York accent comes out. Curtis Lewa is that on steroids. It's not that I don't think Lewa is smart. I don't have anything against him being a conservative. I do not disagree with the idea that he is a conservative. Okay? I'm pretty sure that he is. But Curtis Lewa is no politician in the sense of running a city. I'm sorry. He just isn't. Is he a loudmouth? Yes. He is. But is he a loudmouth? See, I totally get a loudmouth. I can get anybody who is a loudmouth and can back it up. Do I think that he can, get in a tussle with somebody that he talks smack with? Absolutely. I think if Curtis Lewa and I were to ever get into, a little tete-a-tete, we'd have to come down swinging each other. And I would consider him formidable. He's a former guardian angel. I'm pretty sure he knows some taekwondo or some, Brazilian, what's that thing called? Brazilian karate or kung fu, whatever it is. Now, whatever the MMA kids are doing. I'm pretty sure he would. but he's not a politician. How do I know this? Did you guys see him on the debate stage? Did you see him? Did you notice that he had two very bizarre answers when it came to immigration? Did it not bother you that Curtis Sliwa believes that New York City should have an illegal immigrant slave class? He didn't say it that way, but he was absolutely fine with it. He was absolutely fine with migrants working in the restaurant industry. Of course he was. Why? Because there's no such thing as a New York Republican since me. Sorry. No such thing. People keep trying to express to me that these people exist. They don't. There's no such thing as a New York Republican. Not in the 5 boroughs. Not a real one. Okay, maybe Staten Island. Okay, all right. I'll give Staten Island a pass. But have you been to Staten Island? In order for you to be conservative and be in Staten Island, you're probably Italian or Irish. You probably are. And you probably live out in Tottenville. Or way back near Tottenville. Those folks are conservatives. When Donald Trump ran, that whole place was Trump country. He couldn't even get Queens. But these guys, I'm sorry, Republicans, in the true sense of Republicans, and I know people think I'm sort of throwing some purity test out there. It's not. It's just that there's a tenet. There's certain tenets of being a conservative or being a Republican. I'm MAGA, conservative. And a lot of these New York conservatives just don't have it. They don't. Because they're scared to death. Look, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to go there because I normally wouldn't mention a guy and because I've got no real interest in mentioning a guy. But, you know, there's a lot of Ben Protos, okay? You know, there's some people who shy away from their conservatism when it's convenient. There are certain people, and you know who you are. And Proto, if you're listening, or one of your folks are listening and they want to buzz in your ear, so what? You know it to be true. When you start getting ashamed of your conservatism, or you start making excuses for your conservatism, well, I'm not like them. You're not a conservative. Not in my book. As far as me being a Puritan is concerned, right, in order to be a conservative, you're a dyed-in-the-wool conservative. These tenets mean something to you, not because others agree with you, and not because you are going along with others who agree with you, is because these things are backed up by your own experiences, by your own investigations. Because a lot of people, and you know this, and people know this, that there are a lot of people who think that if you're a conservative, you're just going along to get along, right? So you believe like the conservatives do. I hear a lot of people talk about your people. And they don't even question why I believe as I believe. They start saying, it's like, well, you believe that because your party does. Like I don't have an individual thought in my brain. That's a true conservative. But when you start doing this thing where it's like, wow, I'm not like that conservative. Because I'm conservative, but I wouldn't go as far as being a Donald Trump conservative. You just want to be invited to the party. You want to be the token conservative at the liberal luau. Oh, this is my friend Ben. He's a conservative, but he's not like the others. Yeah, you want a cracker? That's what that is. Mitt Romney's. You know? Hey, it's my friend Mitt. Well, yes, he's a Republican, but he's not like the others. No, not at all. No, he abhors Trump. Was like a cracker? That's what that is. I'm a conservative. I stand by being a conservative. And I know there's some people in my party I don't always agree with. I know that there's some people who just, you know. But you know the 11th commandment, right? Yes, I believed in the 11th commandment. I will sooner pull one of my conservatives to the side and I chastise them quietly. I don't do it publicly. Hint, hint, Jonathan. God bless you, Jonathan. You know I love you. That's what needs to be done. So, you got to let this thing in New York happen. Okay? Do we understand each other? The New York thing's got to happen. Mamdani's got to win. And when Mamdani's won, sit back. You know? Just get your marshmallows ready. It's going to be a bonfire. It's going to be one of the most classic ever. We'll get back to your phone calls in the next half hour. Now, we'll get to Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. We'll try it one more time.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Welcome to Connecticut.
Thank you, sir.
And if you are heading on the westbound side of 84, you're going to see some delays in the Hartford. This traffic report being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. Westbound 84 tied up 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Look out for an accident westbound 84 in New Britain at exit 35. Looks like the right lane is out there. Delays are back to 37 behind that. 84 eastbound locked up 48 Capitol Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 IMB and again down by exit 28. If you're northbound 91, good ride Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 2 eastbounds are slow by exit 3 in East Hartford. If you're traveling in the Middletown, both sides of 9 heavy at the Oregoni Bridge. If you're traveling southbound on the Parkway, delays 50 in Hamden into the West Rock Tunnel. And northbound on the Parkway, slows approaching 46 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. This traffic report being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. Traffic got you down. Turn that frown upside down. At Columbia Implant Center in Manchester, they offer fast, efficient dental implant procedures completed in a single visit, open 7 days a week for your convenience. Don't wait. Visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Intervals of clouds and sunshine for the rest of the afternoon. It'll be on the breezy side. Temperatures generally up into the mid and upper 50s and partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a breeze. We're down to 40. Most suburbs probably down into the mid-30s. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy. It's definitely going to be on the chilly side with a breeze, the high 54. And then we'll see some rain break out later tomorrow night. And Thursday, it'll be windy, periods of rain. Some of that rain will be heavy enough to cause flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. A high Thursday, 55. Rain moves away Thursday night. There could be a leftover shower on Friday for Halloween. But it is going to be windy. Intervals of clouds and sunshine. A high up near 60, so definitely on the chilly side for trick-or-treat Friday evening. And then it looks like a dry weekend. Still going to be windy on Saturday up to 56, then less wind on Sunday, again up into the mid-50s. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
56 degrees in Hartford at 4:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. With 185-mile-an-hour winds, Category 5 Hurricane Melissa made landfall on Jamaica at midday. It's the strongest storm on record to strike the island, and it's tied as the strongest Atlantic hurricane to ever hit land. It will move on to Cuba and the Bahamas, but as the Nationwide News Network reports, it's doing its most damage to Jamaica.
This thing was turbocharged, was boosted to wreak all the damage on Jamaica, given the severity of the winds, the strength of the winds. And right after leaving Jamaica, it starts petering out. Right now, it's Category 5 and doing a lot of damage.
National Hurricane Center Director Michael Brennan warns Melissa will still be plenty strong when it reaches Cuba late tonight.
Major hurricane force winds expected across portions of southeastern Cuba with 10 to 20 inches of rainfall, isolated rainfall totals here in some of these areas as high as 25 inches. Again, catastrophic flash flooding and landslides likely in areas of high terrain.
Melissa not expected to reach the mainland U.S. The storm has killed at least 7 people. State police investigating a homicide in Killingly. Happened last night at a home on Pratt Road. A victim was found fatally shot in the chest. A suspect is in custody. State Attorney General William Tong now has 38 lawsuits against the Trump administration. In the latest, he's joining other states to demand the continuation of SNAP food assistance beyond October 31st. He says the USDA is required by law to fund the program even during the shutdown. Democratic Congresswoman Johanna Hayes says Republicans have it in for SNAP in general.
These are the same people that took a vote in July that made the largest cuts in history to the SNAP program. Almost $180 billion. They don't want to save it. This is a policy choice. States have to step up and force the federal government to do what we are already supposed to be mandated by law to do.
Right now, the White House says SNAP will end effective Saturday. Despite the existence of a $6 billion contingency fund to pay for it, so far the USDA is refusing to use that money. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 162, S&P was plus 16, the NASDAQ was plus 190. In sports, World Series Game 4, Toronto at the Dodgers, Ohtani on the mound for LA, which won in 18 innings this morning and leads the series 2-1. The Patriots signed defensive back and punt returner Marcus Jones to a contract extension. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker. WTIC 1080 News.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments, in most cases, have made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM. Visit consumercellular.com/fax or store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Stay locked in. Locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
I cannot believe that I forgot to do this, but the Between Rounds winner today is Laura D. in Windsor Locks. She is our winner. She gets a dozen bagels a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds. The Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe, located in South Windsor, Vernon, and Manchester. If you'd like to win or get a chance to win, you got to go to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com to enter. You can enter as much as you like. We'll pick you. If we see you enter too many times, we'll get the picture. Yes, you really want to win, but we'll pick you. And then we will send you an email to let you know that you've won. And you'll be announced roughly about this time. I usually like to do it about 4:05, but in this case it was 4:35, and we'll announce your name and, of course, tell you how to win. Also, if you want to help out the folks at the Connecticut Food Share, you can buy the Becca, which is the bacon, egg, and cheese and chipotle avocado on a bagel, which is what Between Rounds is called in the Becca. 50 cents of each purchase goes to the Connecticut Food Share as they help people in need at plenty of locations in and around Connecticut. And that's how you can help out. So go down to Between Rounds. In fact, I think I'm going to be going there tomorrow morning. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to. I'm probably going to go to the one that Jerry Puya is in. I think that's where we're going to do the remote. That's in, I think that one. Did you go, which one did you go to? Manchester one, Roland? Okay, you went to the Manchester one. I like the Manchester one, but there's more room at I think the South Windsor one. I think that's the one that what Jerry's usually at. So I'm going to go to that one. There's a little more room in there. And don't worry. Yeah, Russell, I apologize on the audio. We're working on it. In fact, I just got a text message from Joey. He tells me that he's figured it out. We're going to have it all up to snuff tomorrow. So don't worry about that. And I apologize for everybody. We tried to do it just so you guys wouldn't be without it because you were kind of without it for the whole weekend. So we'll figure it out tomorrow. And yeah, so I think we're about doing a remote there. Roland, would you have to be here if I did the remote there, or could you be with me doing the remote? You have to be here? Oh, come on, man. Well, that would be horrible. I kind of feel like, like we're a team. I would want you there. Yeah, I know, but it'd be nice to just have you there. Anyway, let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Traffic Center. How are them roads doing out there? Is 84 backed up?
Yes, it is.
Of course it is.
Monday through Friday, you can pretty much put a bet on it down at...
Yeah, set your clock and put a bet on it.
I mean, look, you're in Connecticut now. You could put a bet down at Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods. I'm sure they would find a way to take your money, and you could lay the bet down. If you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound 84, you got delays approaching the Bulter Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. We have an accident at 84 westbound in New Britain by exit 35. Right lane is blocked. Delays back to 37 Finneman Road behind that. Eastbound side of 84, slowing 46th Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 to 32, again 27 to 28. More slow traffic down by exit 19 down to 18 for the 691 interchange. If you're traveling 9 north and southbound, slowing at the Oregoni Bridge, traveling on the east and westbound side of Waterbury, you're looking okay there. Southbound on the Parkway delays 60 into the, 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. They changed the exit numbers, don't forget that. Northbound on the one, you got delays approaching 46 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, as we head through the rest of this afternoon, we are going to see clouds and sunshine across the area. The high temperatures ranging from 57 to 59 and partly to mostly cloudy tonight. As we head down to a low of 40 degrees, rather cloudy tomorrow, a little on the cool side. So grab that jacket if you're going to be heading out and about. We'll head up to a high of 54. And for tomorrow night, mostly cloudy and breezy. We do have rain arriving late at night as the storm moves into the region. The low tomorrow night, 44. Then it turns windy as we head into Thursday with periods of rain, some heavy. They're going to be ponding on roads, leading to slower travel conditions out there on Thursday, so please keep that in mind. We'll head up to a high of 55 Thursday, then Friday on Halloween. Not a bad day overall. Intervals of clouds and sunshine, could be a passing shower, but much of the day remaining dry, with a high Friday up to 59. Right now it's 55 in Farmington, 57 degrees in Windsor, and 57 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Goodwin University, in partnership with Food Share, is hosting a turkey drive on November 12th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Donate a frozen turkey or provide a monetary donation. Collections will be held at Goodwin University, 167 Riverside Drive, East Hartford. See you there.
For quality vinyl siding, the Peter L. Brown Company is your best choice. Let us show you the difference a beautifully installed Peter L. Brown vinyl siding job can make. Please visit peterlbrown.com for roofing, siding, windows, and doors.
At Columbia Dental, we love to make kids smile. Our expert pediatric dentists specialize in children's dental care, making every visit fun and comfortable. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
We started Henyon and Walsh for people like you. People with integrity, honesty, and loyalty. The result? We care about you and your investment success. We're dedicated to your financial goals, so we'll always give you our best efforts because you've earned it. We're Henyon and Walsh and committed to you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/life.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed. Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The NAACP calls him, whoa! I don't think I'm allowed to read this. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's just say some people are not fans. On NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
And the NAACP should know I am going to be visiting their offices very, very soon so I can get the tour. That's just so you know. I'm not going to tell you which one I'm going to, but I'm going to go down and I'm going to ask to get the tour to find out what they've been doing. Tell me your progress. I'm under the impression that as a man who has been African-American and or black for at least 35, 45 minutes, that I would get the grand tour. Hi, African-American here. How are you? Yes, I was wondering if I could come by and see the facilities and maybe have a conversation with you about all the good work you're doing on my behalf. You know, I've been out here in the world, and I have been experiencing some colored advancement. Well, that's what you do. You're National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and I've been experiencing some advancement, and I'd like to see how you are accomplishing that for other African Americans or coloreds, whatever it is that you're calling them this week. Yes, I'd like to tour the facilities, maybe get a progress report. Exactly what you're doing. So, yeah, there'll be a lot of that, and we will be going down there to film. Now, because I think that some of these organizations should give us a progress report, right? Tell us all the good work they're doing. The Urban League. Exactly how are you making the town more urban? I think that's what the Urban League does, right? Is that what they do? I mean, what's the... I was just saying. Can we go to Dave in Brantford? Hello, Dave. How are you, sir?
Well, Reese, welcome to. Welcome to Connecticut, the land of stupid habits. That's my twist on. Okay. And, Reese, I guarantee your NAACP setup was not prearranged, but that's what I called about. A tale on a story that you started last week.
Yes.
Which was the rope hanging of the skeletons as a Halloween joke, and the NAACP saw a racial malice in it.
Yes.
Started trouble. The tail end of that story, which you might have missed because it was in the Hearst publication.
I didn't, but tell everyone.
They put the arm on the recipient of the charitable money raised by this exhibit to give the checks back. And so I suspect there was an article that the mayor of the town had a discussion where it was the PAL, the Police Athletic League, not associated with the town. It's a private charity.
Sure.
But they put the arm on them to give the money back because it's tainted blood money, because a rope just reeks of Jim Crow.
Oh.
And I'll just leave it at that, and we'll kind of finish up that story. And I have
I'm not letting it go because I understand that the folks who put up the display, well, I saw him on one of the news networks down there. He pretty much told them to pound sand. Am I right here? I mean, is he still under pressure?
Absolutely. He did not take it down.
Yeah.
And but the whole point of the exhibit was always to raise money for charity.
Exactly.
And, he went a little over the top because it was a good cause. And so, once again, the NAACP has seen fit, much like Jesse Jackson, who wanted to exert their power to show you can't push me around.
Yeah.
They got a charity organization to give back the money It's just awful. And I have a question. When you were doing your kind of a mock rich dude attitude about the Republicans,
oh yes,
I wonder. And again, there's no answer. What William F. Buckley would have thought of Trump. And I want to say this for the record. I'm a triple Trumper. You know what that means?
Yes, I do.
But I think, is he trolling us, whatever? I would not be willing, no matter how much I like them, to vote for him for a fourth time. I think that's just too much like a cult of personality, and I'd like more fresh blood. And I never voted for him in the primary. You know, I thought
I wasn't. You were just like me. I wasn't for him in the primary. He had to win South Carolina to get my vote because I thought that Ted Cruz was obviously a shoo-in. I was wrong there, and I said if he wins South Carolina, that's it. I got to throw my support away from Ted Cruz and go with Trump, which I did. I kept my word to anyone who would ask, and I've been riding with him ever since. But I want to say this thing about the William F. Buckley thing. I remind you of the foreword in a book by Craig Shirley called Rendezvous with Destiny. Are you familiar? Because you read a lot. So
I do read a lot, but I don't know that book.
Okay. So Rendezvous with Destiny, the foreword in there talks about a dinner with Ronald Reagan giving a speech, and in the audience is the former, George Will, the former host of This Week on ABC, and William F. Buckley. And the writer, Craig Shirley, says that when Ronald Reagan starts getting into the speech of Rendezvous with Destiny, both men roll their eyes and say, here he goes again. And the book...
You know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Reese, we all do that. I don't know what it is because I'm me. And when I do the things that I do, and your friends look at you like, again with that story.
Right.
And I'm sure you do it too. I don't really see hostility.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm just saying that William F. Buckley... In that instance, and I think what Craig Shirley was saying in that book, because you only realize it thereafter, is that what he was saying was, what Craig Shirley was saying was that there was a lot about Ronald Reagan inside conservatism that conservatives were apprehensive about when it came to him. Because remember when Ronald Reagan famously, bowed out of the race, what was it, 76?
He didn't bow out. He did not win the primary.
Yeah, well, yes, but I mean, he didn't fight it, right? Like he was, he knew he wasn't going to be the guy.
You know what? I didn't like Reagan in 76.
Exactly.
He primaried a sitting Republican president, Gerald Ford.
Yes.
And I was kind of a stuffy, fossilized Republican.
Exactly.
How dare you? We've got a perfectly good Republican president, and that's who I voted for. And then Reagan came back 4 years later and became, probably the best Republican president of my lifetime.
And you're right. Primarying Ford was not a good look for him. And as I'd like to say personally, he was still too close to being a Democrat at that time. And if I were, in a voting age, I would have never. Say again. Head of the union, exactly. Exactly.
That kind of thing. Welcome back to Connecticut, the homeland. It's good that you're back.
Thank you.
I think we've yacked long enough. Thanks.
No, my pleasure. I know you only like to stay for a short time. Thanks, Dave. Let's go to Fred in Middletown, who's finally going to comment on my Curtis Lewa criticisms, because you're not happy with the fact that I don't support him.
Did you hear me yesterday?
Of course I did.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I've been meaning to mention it for a while. Now, like I said, it's not like you have that election in your hands.
Right.
But he's a righteous fellow, a righteous radio host, and the only viable he's the only good guy running.
I know that. But see, Fred, this was what my biggest issue with you when you said that yesterday was like, well, you asked if I had any personal animus. I don't. He was just a rival of mine on the radio, but that was it. But I've got to tell you, I've always said this about New York Republicans or guys who have professed to be Republican in New York. For me, there is a litmus test, and it's usually a very low bar. And when he was on that debate stage and he said that he was going to carve out a compromise for illegals in New York, the answer is no.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, that was and my wife and I were driving. We listened to that all the way in Texas. We were driving from somewhere, but he had a long drive, and I said we got to listen to the debate, and so we drove listening to the debate. And when that question came up, and Curtis Sliwa, I mean, he made no bones about it. He did not hesitate and said that, look, I understand the bad guys, but we have to make space for people in the migrant community who work in the service industry. And I went, no, that it's not. This is the great compromise that Reagan was often criticized about the amnesty deal. He's still criticized for it because it always ended up it did. It ended up biting Reagan in the behind. And right now it's used as a cudgel, oddly enough. Reagan signed amnesty. For some odd reason, in order for you to be a Reagan conservative, you have to go down that line. And I say no. That was our biggest. There was a line in the sand we should have never crossed. And the fact that Reagan crossed it, now we're being asked to do it again, and the answer must be no.
Fair enough. Curb your dogma. So I don't know about that. That might be a concession. Like he might know that that's just so many votes, and that if he just a thing.
Because it's New York, and you have to capitulate to at least the liberal base because they outnumber you.
Well, right. And another thing I understand is he took off his red beret for meeting with certain very important people. That's kind of sad, but, I can't blame him, when you're in the guy's shoes. Yeah. I really do think, look, do I think he's a great, radio host, for the stuff that he does? Absolutely. Yeah. But again, look, and here's another thing. I always look at convention wisdom and I say that's bull. And here's why. Right. Because to believe that you can't win on a conservative platform that is anti-crime and pro-business, I say look at Giuliani. And regardless of what people say about Giuliani today, he is still the greatest mayor for New York since Fiorello LaGuardia. Yes. Real quick, let me bring it over to Middletown here.
Yes.
So we got a guy, Gene Nocera. He's the interim mayor. Apparently the last guy wore his running shoes. He split first time. And now this guy is up for election November 2nd. Right. And of course, he's running against a 3-time, when it was a 2-year term, Seb Giuliano, former mayor. And I swear, whether it's dog catcher or mayor of Middletown, they're all just running against Trump. So I was just pinning up a sign on the kiosk saying, proscribe pedagogue politicians, because this Nocera guy was a principal of a school or something, pedagogue, a teacher, proscribe, prohibit.
Right.
And while I'm doing it, someone stops and says, and I explain what's going on, and they go, well, Trump. And I go, he's not running against Trump. Someone else comes by, and I stop him, who I know he didn't know there's an election, and he didn't know either of the candidates. And he goes, well, Trump cutting off the food stamps. I'm like, dude, Trump is not. And so everyone's voting against Trump. And then just closing with this, we have our hands off, no kings rally.
Yeah.
And I showed up last Saturday with a big sign that said, God hates Trump, and you should too. And I just blended right in, and then on the other side it said, Yankee Hitler, go home. And that was cool too. So next week, this Saturday, I'm going, there's a guy who puts it on, his name is Ed, and I'm going to have a sign that says, eat the rich.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ed. This guy is definitely the rich,
I think it's going to be whatever. Look, I'll put it this way. People think that running against Trump, it's, oh gosh. Do you watch The Simpsons? You don't know. Do you watch Family Guy at all?
I know Family Guy quite well.
Okay, good. I'm so glad. Well. Do you remember when Lois ran for office and Brian was coaching her, and then every question that they asked her, she went, 9/11, and the crowd went nuts. That is exactly what politics has turned into all over the country right now for Democrats. It is that one line. He goes, Brian tells Lois, he says, whatever you want to do, say something about 9/11, and there'll be and then she goes, and they would go, what do you think is gonna we should do about bringing businesses into our state? 9/11, and everybody goes, yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. And my favorite line is when they ask her another question, and then she goes 9, and everybody goes 11. So that's exactly what's going on with Donald Trump. Hey, what are you going to do to make sure that we lower our property taxes? Trump.
Yes. So let me close with a quote from Stewie.
Yes.
What have we learned?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thank you.
You got it, boss.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's exactly what it is. Trump is everything. How do you win elections? Trump. Bash Trump. That's what's going to cause these people to run out. This guy's bashing Trump. We got to elect him. And I say this, look, to the left, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If your candidate of choice thinks that you will vote for them just because they say Trump bad, what does it say about you that you say, I'm voting for that guy? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I've never voted for anyone who just said, well, the liberals are going to take over. No, doesn't matter. And again, like I said, I love conservatives, but look, there's some out there. I will call them out there. I was not a Romney fan, and nor was I a McCain fan. I knew we were losing as soon as I saw McCain. And by the way, when conservatives told me that it was his turn, I was almost finished. Anyway, when we come back, got a great story coming up. What did Roseanne lose? You're not going to want to miss this. Stand by. Let's get to Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hopefully not her mind.
90s hip-hop almost did that for her.
I mean, hours and hours of De La Soul on end could...
it was every album.
Really?
Every album. And she was, when we were playing Oodles of O's, she was like, what the hell is this? I'm like, it's Oodles of O's. What's wrong with you?
Wow. I give her a lot of credit. That's a lot of time in a small space. I mean, I know you're her husband, but... Still, it's not easy.
I was testing this marriage.
Yes, and she passed with flying colors, obviously. She might have to see a psychiatrist, but she passed with flying colors. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, westbound side of 84, you've got delays approaching the Barclay Bridge out to exit 44 Prospect Oakwood. Again, slow traffic from exit 43 out to exit 40 Corbin's Corner. And then you're in the real heavy stuff from 38 the Finneman Road. Actually, no, that's the Route 6 exit 38 all the way down to exit 35 into Britain. We have an accident in the right lane there. Stay to the left. Now, if you're heading into Hartford eastbound 84, look for slow traffic 46 Lisson Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 36 to 35. Again, 33 down to 32 A and B. More slow traffic 27 down to 28. Northbound 91, look out for slow traffic 22 up to 23. An accident reported up by West Street and Rocky Hill. If you're traveling 291 eastbound, slowing on 91 over to the Bristol 9 northbound in Middletown's type Harbor Park to the Oregonian Bridge. Again, slowing from 32 in Berlin up to 36 in New Britain. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Times of clouds and sunshine for the rest of the afternoon. Breezy temperatures into the mid and upper 50s. Partly to mostly cloudy. Breezy tonight, chilly down to 40. And then breezy and chilly for tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, high 54. We'll see some rain break out later tomorrow night. We're down to 44, and then windy on Thursday with periods of rain. Some of that rain will be heavy enough to cause localized flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. A high Thursday, 55. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
56 degrees at 5. I'm Dave Meager, WTIC 1080 News. At midday, Hurricane Melissa struck Jamaica as a Category 5 with sustained winds of 185 miles an hour. It's the strongest storm to hit Jamaica, and it's tied for the strongest to make landfall in the Atlantic. According to government officials, there's major structural damage with roofs torn off homes and roads destroyed.
There is no infrastructure in the region that can withstand a Category 5.
In Waterbury, Tasha Van Horn is waiting to hear from relatives in Jamaica.
I can't get in touch with my dad, so, I send him a text and stuff, so I'm waiting for him to get back to me. Right now, I'm a bit anxious to see what the storm is going to bring.
That audio from WFSB.
CBS News special report. Hurricane Melissa made landfall in southwestern Jamaica today, one of the most intense ever. It's now a powerful Category 4 storm with winds down to 150 miles per hour. Meteorologist Scott Padgett.
Since it's such a slow mover, that's the problem that we're looking at with the intense winds. At one point, we were talking about winds gusting up to more than 200 miles per hour. Last check, that's one of the highest wind gusts ever recorded for a hurricane as well.
CBS's Rob Marciano.
We'll continue to see rainfall rates 3, 4, 5 inches an hour, so an additional 12 to 15 inches of rainfall is expected, so more in the way of flooding, especially in the mountainous areas.
Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby.
My concern would have been some of the lowland areas where the housing start. Those are the ones that I'm a little bit worried about, and the infrastructure in general.
CBS News special report. I'm Cammie McCormick.
In Cuba, expecting damage when Melissa arrives late tonight. The storm already blamed for at least 7 deaths in the Caribbean. State Attorney General William Tong and his counterparts are suing to force the federal government to continue funding SNAP food assistance beyond the end of the week.
We are suing the president and this administration because even though they have the money, they are deciding, starting on Saturday, not to provide milk, bread, eggs to hungry children across our state and across our country.
The Trump USDA is refusing to use a $6 billion contingency fund to pay for SNAP during the government shutdown. Tong now has 38 lawsuits against the White House. He got 2 wins this week. A federal judge blocked Trump from cutting $1 billion in congressionally approved funding for school mental health. Another judge issued a preliminary injunction blocking the White House from defunding sex education. Also today, a federal judge in San Francisco indefinitely blocked the Trump administration from firing federal workers during the shutdown. 1 person dead in a house fire in Hartford last night. More from WTIC's John Silva.
The call came in a little after 10:30 p.m. Monday to a multifamily structure on Elliott Street. Crews encountered heavy fire on the first floor, which spread to the second floor and then the roof. A second alarm was sounded for additional personnel. 1 person was taken to the hospital for treatment of smoke inhalation. The deceased individual was pronounced at the scene. Officials say a total of 9 adults, 3 families have been displaced. The local and state fire marshal's offices are investigating, along with Hartford Police. John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
And the race for mayor of New York enters its final week, and a poll shows former Governor Andrew Cuomo pulling closer to frontrunner Zoran Mamdani.
The Suffolk University Boston poll has Cuomo trailing Mamdani 44 to 34%. Suffolk's September poll had Cuomo behind by twice as much.
Certainly, this is as close as he's gotten.
Seton Hall University political science professor Matthew Hale says polls can change quickly.
I expect there'll be a couple, maybe 1 or 2 more that might show it's back to 20 or might show it's down to 5. So it's a pretty volatile race.
This latest poll has Republican Curtis Sliwa a distant third at 11%. 7% are undecided a week before Election Day. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 162 to a record 47,700. S&P was plus 16. The Nasdaq closed up 190. Nvidia today was up 5%. Sports, World Series Game 4, Dodgers hosting Toronto. Dodgers won in 18 innings this morning to take a 2-1 series lead. The New Orleans Saints naming rookie quarterback Tyler Shuck as their new starter. NBA Knicks in Milwaukee. NHL Bruins home for the Islanders. Rangers in Vancouver. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it?
price people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Roland, let me ask you this, and normally I would do movie news here. I don't understand who these people are, but I have to ask you if you are one of them. Were you a fan of Chris Farley?
I was a kid then, so yeah. So all the dumb stuff he did made me laugh.
Okay,
so I was a kid then, yeah.
Okay, so you probably watched, what was the Kung Fu movie?
Beverly Hills Ninja.
That's what it was.
I love that movie.
Okay, so Beverly Hills Ninja, Tommy Boy, you watched all of those. So,
and I was real sad when he died, but like I said, I was a kid, so I didn't know.
You didn't know?
I didn't know anything about his life.
Okay, literally, like, I don't know why. You just dug right into my brain and just totally, like, I don't know how you did it. So apparently Warner Brothers is putting together a Chris Farley biopic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so and I know that he's got a brother who looks just like him.
Okay.
And I forget what his brother is. The other, I think it's Kevin Farley or something like that. But yeah, it's in pre-production. So is that something like I never knew Chris Farley fans. I knew that they liked Tommy Boy the same way that my generation talks about Step Brothers.
Yep.
You know, and I never, like, I watched Tommy Boy and I don't get it. I don't see the cult classic in it. I don't see the weird humor that I'm supposed to figure out, but apparently...
Yeah, I haven't watched it in years, so if I go back and watch it, I'm sure I have a different...
When you say you were a kid during Beverly Hills Ninja, how old would you say, like teenager? Or?
Yeah, like 13, 14.
Like 13, 14, okay. Yeah, so that kind of like sophomoric humor would make sense to a teenage boy. I guess that makes sense. Tommy Boy would have been in that same wheelhouse, right? About the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. Anyway, let's get a check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher, who doesn't watch movies and wouldn't even know what we're talking about, is in the BPS traffic center.
Oh, I know Tommy Boy.
Oh, so look at that! Of course he did. So so you were a Chris Farley fan? Like, did you watch?
Oh my God, I love Chris Farley.
Really? So you're the guy who would appeal to this biopic then?
I am Chris Farley in real life. That's me. As I scoffed on another Milky Way bar. Good luck, kids. Hope you'll have a few left for Friday night.
You're not going to save any for the vagrants? We're going to be bumming them at your door?
I'll just keep buying more. Keep going to the grocery store. No, I better go get some more.
That's right. Eat them all. Eat them all. I don't care. I endorse you eating them all. Forget about those bums. Don't give give them nothing.
This Sinjardi works great for my type 2 diabetes, so I'm just stocking it down, man. I'm hopefully live another day. Hey, if you're westbound 84 in Hartford, you got delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to basically exit 40 Corbin's Corner in West Hartford. Again, heavy delays as you move up on exit 38, the Route 6 exit down exit 35. In New Britain, we have an accident blocking the right lane there. Stay to the left. If you're traveling eastbound 84, delays 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound, you're slowing 33 down to 32. Again, 27 down to 28. Northbound side of 91's a little tight by exit 22 in the Route 9 interchange. If you're traveling 2 eastbound, you're slowing out by exit 3 in East Hartford. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Oregoni Bridge. 9 northbound delays 31 up to exit 36 in New Britain. And if you're heading southbound on the Parkway, delays 50 in Hamden down into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, we are going to see an increase in clouds through the rest of this afternoon. Temperatures will be holding nearly steady. And as we head into tonight, turning out mostly cloudy with a low temperature down to 40. Tomorrow, there will be plenty of clouds around. It's going to be on the cooler side. That jacket may come in handy with a high tomorrow up to 54. And for tomorrow night, mostly cloudy. It will be a bit on the breezy side with rain arriving late at night. We'll head down to a low of 44. Then as we head into Thursday, it turns out rather windy out there. There will be periods of rain, some heavy at times, which can lead to ponding on some roads and potentially slower travel conditions. The high Thursday up to 55. And for Halloween on Friday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. There will be a passing shower, but much of the day will be dry with a high Friday up to 59. Right now it's 54 degrees in East Hartford, 54 in Avon, and 55 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune into the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Never liked braces? Invisalign is an alternative that may be right for you. It's removable, more comfortable, and reduces the risk of developing cavities and gum disease. Get your dream smile discreetly and easily. Call Columbia Dental at 860-645-0111.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back, and tomorrow, I promise you, we'll get so much of the audio sound bites ready. We'll get the camera positioning right, so you'll be able to check out the show online as you do. You'll go to reasoontheradio.com for it as well, and we'll have the chat room up, the audio thing just all set to go. We also are going to set up the camera where, when we have guests, you'll be able to see them on camera as well during interviews. I was talking to Brian Shackman today, and he was still in the studio when I got here this morning. And I usually roll in like late morning, early afternoon. And usually when my objective is to get here and to start working on, audio sound bites and, making sure the video stuff is ready to go and things like that. And while I'm doing that, the objective is to just make sure that the show is prepared. But anyway, running into Brian Shackman, and I asked him, I said, hey, is there any way to know that when your guests are going to be coming through? He was like, well, who are you talking about? And I was like, maybe Bob Larson, maybe when he comes by, you can shoot me a text and let me know. Brian asked me, I said, what are you going to do, ambush him? I'm like, no, of course not. I don't want anybody to get the impression at all that I want to ambush politicians. Like I want to back them into a corner and ask them a tough question. I do want to see them. I want to meet them, and I want to say, hey, stop dodging my show. I think you owe it to the audience to talk to them about what you're doing, about how you are running the state, how you're running your district. It's important that you answer those tough questions. And that's part of my objective here. And if they won't come here, I'm going to go to them. And I'm going to go with them with the camera in tow with a microphone. And I am going to ask them, why won't you answer to the people? My objective before then, with your help, is to grow this show. Not that it isn't big. I know it is. I know who listens. I know why they listen. I know how they listen. But I know that they listen. And if I'm to say anything to anyone, because this being my first day here, first day on the air, I want to say this to people who say stuff like, oh, I don't want to listen to that MAGA crap, that MAGA guy. Let me speak to you. And I want to appeal to your sensible side. I'm not some MAGA guy. I care about you too. But only in the sense that when I fight for conservatism and for conservatives, it is done so that you prosper as well. That what you are looking for and what your needs are met as well. Those things are important to me. It's not that I don't know that you want them. You can make this about Trump or MAGA and all that. What I am trying to do, and the most important thing I believe that we can do on this show, is to get the people who are responsible for legislating this state to do the job on your behalf, at your behest. That they're not out there willy-nilly just throwing stuff out there for a bunch of folks who, again, have no skin in the game, who have no say-so because they don't participate. You who participate every day, pay your taxes, and want something in return for the taxes that you pay, that you get what you want. And the only way that happens is, one, the show grows. And two, when the show grows, we'll be able to say to them, you're not talking to people because they're listening to me and not listening to you, and you don't want to talk to them. We need to force these people to recognize that this is the place to go to talk about those things. Now, I will say this, and this is the last time that you will ever hear a big supermarket talk about a small one. I know why they go to other places to talk. I understand why they do that. I don't mind it so much. Go there and talk to as many people as you want. But it's important to come here. Not just so much that Reese on the Radio might say something bad about you. I hope you don't think that that's what this is about. And I hope you don't think that this is about bullying you. This isn't about saying mean things about you, so therefore your ego is bruised and then you have to respond. No, it's not about that. My objective, and it's one you should consider, is to change hearts and minds with the facts and with your record. I am not going to misquote you. I am not going to suggest that you're doing something that you haven't made evident in your own words or actions. I'm going to make sure that the public knows. I'm going to do it in an entertaining way. I'm going to make them laugh. I even might make them angry. But I'm going to use the influence of the show to get people to recognize, one, what you're doing, and two, that you have to answer for it. So, instead of just doing it at the bully pulpit or doing it without their consent, perhaps just explaining to them why you're doing what you're doing. Or suffer the consequences, like most of us will, with people leaving the state. It's not a record that you can actually build on. It just isn't. Governor Lamont, it's not a record to build on when businesses are leaving. It's not a record to build on when the growing number of illegals happen to be in your state, but the growing number of millionaires or business owners are bouncing faster than a check. It's not a good record. It's nothing to stand on. If you really want to be the place where people move to, and you want to stop being this sloppy stepbrother of New England, or the forgotten child or the redheaded stepchild of New England, there's a way to do that. And you don't have to brag about opening new food kitchens or food pantries for the poor. You don't have to brag about pizza. That's all well and good. I mean, great. You're the pizza capital of the world. But what's that really saying? Huh? I cannot believe that I have to do this. I gotta. I've been trying to avoid this for the longest. And for those of you who love the pizza in Connecticut, God bless you. If I make you mad, I apologize in advance. I don't even do that often, but I gotta say it. I'm from New York City, folks. I've had some of the best pizza in my life out of Brooklyn. And we're talking in the Italian, or, as we used to say back in the days, the Italian neighborhoods. Okay? I had pizza made by Vinny. I had pizza made by Bruno. Okay? I had Carmine look at me sideways when I called a square piece a Sicilian because I didn't know any better. I've had some of the greatest pizza in the world. From Joe, from Vito. If you've been to New York, you know them all. For Connecticut to be the pizza capital of the world is no feat. Believe me. Pizza began to suck in New York in the mid-90s, when every pizzeria, almost everywhere in New York, was bought out by Arab owners. It was. For those of you who've been to New York, you know. Go check out a Ray's Pizza in Manhattan. Tell me if you see any Rays there. You don't. Connecticut became the pizza capital of the country by default because New York stopped caring about it. Why? Because everybody in New York City started eating tofu. I knew it was over when we got our first Starbucks. It's a wrap for pizza. As soon as the city turned gluten-free, it was over. Of course Connecticut can steal the crown. Especially, it's like you guys stole somebody's shoelaces. It's a crime, but is it worth reporting? No. So when the state starts putting up all these, the pizza trail, and you can't even keep energy prices down, you can't keep your hospitals open, you have to lure businesses in with abortions. Like, do you really think that you're saying something when you say, we've got the best pepperoni? I'm sorry, but I'm angry at it because it's just so stupid. It is. It's silly. It's nonsense. And I just have to call it out. And I know a lot of people, they are angry about it. They're ticked off about it. It's like, why are we sitting around here in Connecticut talking about pizza? Why, a good gracious is the governor bragging about pizza when he's got the Purist scandal? When he's got the, what's his name? Castanedis, whatever his name is. They got that scandal and everything else. You got progressives growing in numbers in the state. food pantries growing in numbers because more and more people can't afford to eat, and you're bragging about pizza. And then you don't want to come on the air, or you don't want to have a conversation with the people in Connecticut about what's being done on their behalf, or in this case, what isn't being done on their behalf. And those days are changing. They just are. There's going to be a camera, there's going to be a microphone, and you're going to be asked the tough questions. You are, and I'm going to hit the ground running. I'm going to be out there. You'll be doing the job that should have been done a long time ago. And you're going to be upset about it, and I understand. You're probably going to ask yourself, who is this guy and how dare he? I know. I get it. It will create a couple of enemies. But I'm not trying to. I'm not doing it because I'm mad at you. I'm not doing it because I'm angry at you. I'm not doing it because I think that you're some sort of, I don't know, evil person. I just want to understand why. What are you afraid of? I mean, I see you guys walk past the news media when they're asking you tough questions with your head down and being rushed through with your security. Sending out memos to only particular news outlets to avoid others. Legitimate news outlets. Avoiding them from coming in to ask questions or to be at press conferences. Not taking questions when you're suing the administration of Donald Trump 33, 34 times and you don't ask any questions. I don't get it. Well, that ends. Let's take a break. We'll wrap all this stuff up. Let's get some traffic and weather. Mark Christopher is in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, sir.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading on the westbound side of the 4 in Hartford, you got delays East Hartford approaching the Berkeley Bridge. You're tight right out to exit 39A in Farmington. A short break back into stop and go again from 38 down to exit 37 Finman Road. Looks like another problem in the right shoulder out there by Finman Road. 84 eastbound is slowing about a half mile before 46th Avenue down to the Berkeley Bridge. If you're southbound 91, delays Hartford 33 down to 32A and B, and again 29A down through exit 28. Slowing again, approaching exit 19 in Meriden. Now, if you're traveling into Middletown right now, both sides of 9 heavy approaching the area Gurney Bridge. 9 northbound in Berlin, slow from 31 up to exit 34 in New Britain. If you're 72 westbound, you've got delays now as you move from the Route 9 interchange to 72 westbound, all the way out to the 84 interchange in Plainville. Traveling into Waterbury, westbound 84 slows at the Mixmaster, 84 eastbound Waterbury tight 18 to the Mixmaster. Southbound 95 New Haven tight 46 down to 43 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Intervals of clouds and sunshine for the rest of the afternoon. It'll be on the breezy side. Temperatures generally up into the mid and upper 50s and partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a breeze. We're down to 40. Most suburbs probably down into the mid 30s. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy. It's definitely going to be on the chilly side with a breeze, the high 54. And then we'll see some rain break out later tomorrow night. And Thursday, it'll be windy, periods of rain. Some of that rain will be heavy enough to cause flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. A high Thursday, 55. Rain moves away Thursday night. There can be a leftover shower on Friday for Halloween, but it is going to be windy. Intervals of clouds and sunshine, a high up near 60, so definitely on the chilly side for trick-or-treat Friday evening. And then it looks like a dry weekend. Still going to be windy on Saturday up to 56, then less wind on Sunday, again up into the mid-50s. This is meteorologist John Feerick in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
55 degrees at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Hurricane Melissa is now a strong Category 4 storm with 145-mile-an-hour winds as it crosses Jamaica. It made landfall at midday as a Category 5 with 185-mile-an-hour winds, tying the record for the strongest Atlantic storm upon landfall. Heavy flooding and wind damage are reported. Roofs, torn off buildings, including hospitals on the south coast, according to the BBC. Radio Jamaica reporting some residents did not heed warnings to move to shelters.
It's always difficult to hear, when our people in charge say there are people who are stranded, there are people who are marooned, there are people who are in difficult situations, and we cannot get to where you are because it's already too late.
Officials warn cleanup and damage assessment could be slow. Melissa should make landfall in eastern Cuba late tonight, then head towards the Bahamas. It's not expected to impact the mainland U.S. The storm has killed at least 7 people. State Attorney General William Tong now has 38 lawsuits against the Trump administration. In the latest, he's joining other states demanding the continuation of SNAP food assistance beyond October 31st. He says the USDA is required by law to fund the program even during the government shutdown.
SNAP and the funding of SNAP is mandatory under federal law. There's no discretion. You have to do it. Why? Because Congress said so. Okay? Congress said so and has said so for a very long time.
Right now, the White House says SNAP food benefits will end effective Saturday. Air traffic controllers continue to work without pay, some staying home, contributing to flight delays and cancellations. Nick Daniels is president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association.
In the shutdown today, there is no excuse that these hardworking men and women are showing up to do this job and to not ever know when they're going to get paid again.
Funding for many Head Start programs will run out this weekend. Aid for mothers to care for their newborns through the WIC program could run out next week. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 162, closing at a record 47,700. S&P was plus 16. The NASDAQ was up 190. In sports, World Series Game 4 tonight in Los Angeles. The Dodgers leading the Blue Jays 2-1. Exhibition basketball tonight in Hartford. UConn plays Michigan State. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-2299. 800-848-2299. Again, that's 800-848-2299.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
I'm not sure exactly what that meant, Craig. What is the AB? I don't know what that is. I have no idea. I guess people are upset at me for mentioning Connecticut pizza. I'm not saying that Connecticut pizza is bad. I'm saying that Connecticut pizza, first of all, I love Naples. Let me be the first. I'll give them an applause right now. I loved it. Somebody sent me a message like, please make sure you have the pizza at Naples. Not arguing. Naples pizza is the bomb. Have it every time I'm here. Every time. In fact, I was almost had it last night, but they were closed when I got in. Weird. But anyway, I love the pizza. I'm not saying, never once did you hear me say that the pizza in Connecticut was bad. What you heard me say was, it being the pizza capital of the country and beating out New York was easy because New York got lax. People started eating tofu. That's what happened. It's just a fact. You don't have to be mad at me. It just did. It just wasn't. I wish you guys had seen what they had done to Ray's on 6th Avenue over by 11th Street. I wish you guys had seen it. I wish you saw what they did to the Rays over on St. Mark's Place in Avenue A, a place that I would frequent every time I left the Palladium nightclub on 14th Street. We'd go down to Ray's. It was a great establishment right on the corner. We'd go there. We had the tall tables. And when it was taken over, the Italian guys had sold it. It was no longer Italian Ray's. And the pizza got dusty. It was just dusty. Have you ever had dusty pizza? You know exactly what I'm talking about, Roland. Have you ever seen dusty pizza? Okay, let me describe to you what dusty pizza looks like. Imagine looking at a regular slice of pizza. It's just a regular slice of pizza. And then everything on it looks like someone sprayed what do you put it? Like a sheet of baby powder over it. Have you ever seen pizza that looks like that?
Why would they do that?
No, they haven't done it. The pizza they prepared looks like it's dim, it looks like dusty pizza, like someone, it's almost like a white film is on top of it.
I don't think I've experienced.
Oh, I gotta show you a picture of it. It's just,
that's horrible.
It's horrible. Matty O says that I should stop talking about pizza. I know pizza better than anybody. Let's get another check. Weather and traffic with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, we have an accident in East Hartford. It's westbound 84 between exit 54 and exit 51. That puts it right near the Bulkley Bridge. Right lane is out there, so you got delays approaching the Bulkley. It stays tight right out to 43 Park Road in West Hartford. Then you're back in some stop and go again from exit 40 Corbin's Corner up to 39. Up to 38, and then again you're tight from 37 all the way up to 33. The 72 interchange in Plainville. 84 eastbound locked up 46 Listen Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 to 32. Again, 29A down through exit 28. If you're traveling on the eastbound side of Route 2, a little tight as you move up the 84 out to exit 3. And you start for 2 westbound, slowing 1D up to the 84 west merge. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 72 westbound is backed up from Route 9 in New Britain all the way out to the 84 interchange in Plainville. And if you're heading down in toward New Haven, 95 southbound delays 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, as we head through the rest of this afternoon, we are going to see an increase in clouds across the area. Temperatures will be holding nearly steady. And turning out partly to mostly cloudy tonight. Low temperature down to 40 degrees. It remains rather cloudy tomorrow. A little bit on the cool side out there. A jacket may come in handy with a high temperature of 54. And mostly cloudy and rather breezy for tomorrow night with occasional rain arriving late at night. We'll head down to a low of 44 degrees. Windy on Thursday. There will be periods of rain, some heavy at times as a storm sweeps across the region. That rain can lead to ponding on some roads, potentially leading to slower travel conditions. The high Thursday up to 55. And for Halloween on Friday, we'll see intervals of clouds and sunshine. There will be a passing shower or two with a high Friday up to 59. Right now it's 55 degrees in Plainville, 54 in South Glastonbury, and 55 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claim process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Brian Shackman here for QC Kinetics. You know, more and more people these days are taking control of their health, looking beyond traditional medicine. That's why QC Kinetics is doing so well. People with chronic joint pain are learning that there are other options besides steroids, meds, and surgery. You can get lasting relief using advanced cellular treatments. QC Kinetics, they use regenerative medicine, revitalizes your joints using growth factors from your own body. We're talking hips, knees, back, whatever. Whether it's illness or injury, they can give you long-term relief with no downtime. That's right, no drugs, no surgery. And by the way, this November, QC Kinetics honoring our veterans, offering $500 off a full treatment plan as their way of saying thank you for your service. And also, by the way, for everybody, your first consultation is totally free. So if you are a little bit unsure, you go in there, you learn about it. If it's for you, great. Either way, you learn something about your body and you could get long-term relief from your pain. It's QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. Again, 860-440-PAIN. They have locations in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury. 860-440-PAIN.
And like Slater, my dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/life.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese On The Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 10.
Okay, first show in the tank, and it was without audio sound bites, but that's okay. We're going to get it right and exact tomorrow, but it is a pleasure to be here. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to drive the wife to Target. I'm going to find maybe I'll take her to the West Farms Mall. She loves it over there, Roland. Is it? Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay. All right, perfect. So that she loved the West Farms Mall, man. I took her there. She loved it there. Now it's the bougie spot. Well, no, you know what? I like the bougie. She loves the bougie spot. So she's gonna go there.
If you go there,
yeah,
I believe it's the only Pizza Hut in Connecticut left.
Really?
Is in the mall, and they got the little mini pizzas, but the breadsticks and the cheese sticks are real good.
I've still got leftover pizza last night because we couldn't. You know, the Naples wasn't open.
So what'd you get?
Oh, I don't even know what place we did. We had it delivered, but she got like a whole bunch of vegetables and meat and all this other stuff. But it was so late, I only had one slice, and then I went to bed. So I didn't. Matt says, Matty-O, shut up, knucklehead. He says, when you're done with the pizza thing, then go make fun of Yukon women. That'll help you. I'm not. You know, it's like, I'm not trying. I never once said the pizza was bad. I said the pizza's good. I love Connecticut pizza. But I'm suggesting that when you, look, are you trying to suggest me that it's not ridiculous to say that that's what you're going to hang your hat on as governor of a state? No. It's dumb. It is. By the way, we've been hearing about this all day from the newsroom. And it's not on the newsroom, but we've been hearing about William Tong and his suing the federal government for SNAP benefits. How's that going to get any SNAP benefits to them on Saturday? Huh? Or on Friday, for that matter. How are they going to get it? Are they going to get it? No. It's stupid. Here's the thing that William Tong isn't telling anybody. The Trump administration has no power, none, over SNAP benefits going out on Saturday. The Democrats do. Why? Why? William Tong just said that the money is mandated to go out. and no shutdown can prevent it, he says. Is that true? No, it isn't true. And it's not like William Tong doesn't know this. He knows it. That's why I laugh at these press conferences, because nobody there bothers to even have the facts and ask William Tong, well, William Tong, what you're saying isn't necessarily true. So do you mind if I explain to you what the facts are? Here they are, in plain English. Why is it that on November 1st, SNAP benefits aren't going out? In spite of what William Tong keeps telling us, is that the money's mandated to go out. Here's why. The current shutdown, which kicked off on October 1st, over fiscal year 2026 spending fights, froze any new appropriations. The October benefits were already funded from fiscal 2025. It was paid out in September. So there's no issue there because that was last year's budget. But the November's $8 billion in payment can't proceed, cannot, without a fresh federal sign-off, which the shutdown blocks. Now, if somebody like me was at the press conference, and trust me, I was pressed to go, but I had a meeting here with Ginny. We have a Tuesday meeting, before the show. So I couldn't go. But the hell if I didn't want to be there. Primarily for this reason. Because I would have just said, Attorney General, you do know that the shutdown is preventing any more appropriations. Why don't you ask Democrats to go in and sign off on the clean CR? Why don't you do that instead of spending the state's money joining a lawsuit that won't be fruitful at all? There's no benefit from it. It's nothing more than a sideshow for you to get cameras. Not one person asked. It's plain as day. Anybody can find that info. The reason why it isn't going out is because it's part of fiscal year 2026, and it must be signed off on the new clean CR. So the Democrats are holding up SNAP payments. Why? Because Chris Coons has already told us why. And what did Chris Coons say? Yeah, we know they're going to suffer, but we need this leverage. And it's not helping them at all. Everybody knows it. It's not helping them. They're going to lose more and more folks. And guess what? Listen, as soon as people start running into grocery stores, if they do or pull off what they say they're going to do online, if that actually happens, what do you think that results? What do you think that's going to come from that? I would put out a full court press. And I would catch every one of these folks and I would keep telling them, Democrats want you to starve. You're leveraged to them. But not like we didn't tell you that before. Jason asks, now that you're in Connecticut, it will be cheaper to send me eggs and Jason, I'm not sending you eggs and bacon. I'm not. And you know that commentary is a thorn in my side. Okay? Stop mentioning it. I still get a little angry when I think about it. For those of you who don't know, and I'll go to my last call in a second. For those of you who don't know, I had some minister in Texas call me on the phone. He found out I was at the Walmart and asked me if I would pick him up some bacon and eggs. I was like, no. And that son of a gun said to me, well, you're allergic to bacon and eggs. I thought, like, what? What kind of response is that? That's just of course, Jason, you have to pull on that scab, don't you? You just have to pull on that. Let's go to Wall Street Joe. How are you, sir?
Hi, I called in yesterday, your substitute. I wanted to bring out the bad things that are likely to happen on November 1st with no SNAP money.
What do you, okay, give me your best prediction for snap out, because that's what I'm calling it.
Well, to start off with, I think people are going to fill up their shopping baskets and instead of pulling out their SNAP cards that no longer work, they just continue out the store in large numbers.
Let's arrest them.
Well, okay. How about this? In 1 hour, you get 25 of them doing it.
Just arrest them. I say not only should we arrest them, if they're with their kids, separate them from them.
Yeah, and the overall robbery and crime, lock your doors of your house, lock the doors on your car. Do you plan on going out on the 1st, up and around?
No.
Or are you going to stay home and keep your doors locked?
No. I'm going to stay in the affluent neighborhoods. I'm probably going to go find a country club to go hang out with. I'm going to hang out with some wealthy individuals. Maybe we won't play golf, but we'll definitely sit around and tell tales of yore. That's what I will do. And I will let the savages behave as such. I mean, it sounds crass, but to be honest with you, I don't care what these savages do. Go loot your stores. Go do all of it. I think the police officers should be out there in numbers. I think they should arrest every one of them who do it. And there should be, and I don't want to hear anything about compassion. I want them out there because here's what I want them to see. And this is the reason why people should pay attention to Reese on the Radio. Imagine the contrast. You have a bunch of folks who are going to run into grocery stores, Walmarts, and the like, who are going to fill up their shopping carts, and they're going to try to leave, and they're going to get arrested. But here's the interesting point. There will be no Rosa DeLauros. There will be no Chris Murphys. There will be no John Larsons screaming and hollering about the children who were left behind while their parents were arrested for looting stores, the same way that these people are screaming about illegals being removed. And those folks will say, where are my local politicians caring about me feeding my family? And they won't be there at all. So sometimes chaos works.
We'll see. Maybe some stores will be proactive and they'll shut down on Saturday. There'll be a holiday, store holiday on Saturday. What do you think of that?
If
we're going of any consequence, I would have it closed Saturday and Sunday.
That's true. I heard someone say online that Walmart had thought about just closing down the stores, but they're not going to do that. They're just going to make sure that there's security there, and they're going to deal with the folks that are coming through and trying to steal groceries. And again, they should be held to the fullest extent of the law. And I want to see, again, these local politicians come out and rally for thievery. That's what I want. I want to see Rosa DeLauria say, they're just trying to feed their family. And then we will simply say, then go to Washington and open up the government. It'll be that simple.
Yeah. One last thing before I say goodbye.
Yes, sir.
Friday is Halloween, and I mentioned to you way back the Conjuring home, the auction.
I'm not buying some haunted house, okay? I want to go to a horror flick inside of a fully functioning, overcrowded movie theater. You think I'm going to buy a house where it's just going to be me and my wife? No.
The auction has been put on hold mysteriously. An entity has quietly paid the arrears and has taken over the balance of the mortgage. They don't know who it is.
How about this? Try this on for size. I'm going to make a deal with you, Wall Street, and this is the best deal I could give you. If you buy that home on auction, I will hold a remote broadcast from that home with you in it. I will broadcast live from that home if you let me.
I was going to strongly suggest to you, you know I'm right, it's just a question of whether or not you want to do it, and Roseanne will go along. But Friday, there's going to be a mass seance there with all the witches of England. There might be hundreds, but I would go there and interview them.
No, okay, no. That's a brilliant idea. That I will do. And where is it located?
Look up on the computer in Burrillville, Rhode Island, on 1176 Round Top Road. I believe it's 1176 or 1178.
Okay.
And it's under It's under the Conjuring Home auction.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to find it that way. Thanks, Wall Street. I appreciate you, buddy. Let's go to last but not least. Debbie is in Ashford. Hello, Debbie.
Hello.
Hi, Debbie. You there?
Hello?
Debbie, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you on the radio, just not off my phone.
Do you have me on speaker or on your earphones?
I have you on my cell phone.
See, now you can hear me now. What's going on, Debbie?
Okay, I just heard your last caller, and I just want to make a comment.
Okay.
I feel bad for people that truly need health benefits.
Right.
But when it comes to food. So now I'm going to talk to you about meat. And I'm going to be one of these ones that is affected with with the health insurance, with the credits going away for the health insurance.
Right.
And you will not see several of us going into our doctor's offices demanding for free health care and you deserve it and everything else. So they got to look at the whole picture here.
Right.
I mean, I work every single day. My husband and I have worked very, very hard. And we have been paying through the nose since Obamacare came in with very crappy insurances, high deductibles,
right.
and all that kind of stuff. But you don't see us out there protesting. You don't see us out there ripping off stores. You don't see all that other stuff. And so it just really bothers me that the mentality, when you don't get something that is handed to you, that your mentality is to go out and break the law and screw everybody else.
Not an ounce of gratitude amongst them. And then when it gets cut off, they immediately become indignant. Exactly. That's the one thing that I mentioned over and over again. Debbie, I got to let you go because we're going to end the show, but thank you for the call. Really appreciate it.
Yes, you have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. We got to get up out of here. Wow. First day in. Oh, it's going to be grand. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a good night. Pleasant tomorrow. We'll be right back here to do it all over again. I think I'm going to do something new. Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. I think I'm going to do something like, what are you guys doing tonight? And I'm going to do it on Friday night and see if we can get like a gangs all here. Maybe we'll go bowling with Roland or something like that.
Bowling with Roland. That has a good ring to it. I like that.
I think it does. It's a genius. There's no off switch on the
No, it's the engineers wired. They basically put a cap over it. You cannot switch it on or off. You're a genius. You're a genius.
Have a good night, boss.
All right, brother. Have a good night. You too. Enjoy your second night here in the Nutmeg State. You haven't been here in a long time, so welcome back. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound 84, we have a crash between exit 54 and 51 on the Berkeley Bridge. The three right lanes are out just prior to the Berkeley, so stay to the left there. After that, a little slow traffic from 47 up to 45 Flatbush Avenue. And again, delays 37 Finneman Road in Farmington out to exit 33 and the 72 interchange. Eastbound 84.